Good evening, folks, and welcome to episode 89. Am I right in that? I always forget. Every episode I forget. This is episode 89 of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. I am your host, John Machonsky, and this is the first episode of Guest Month. So, with me this week is Lauren, as always. Lauren, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you, John?
I'm fine. We also have, new to the podcast, but definitely not new to the site, Devin. Devin, how are you?
Man, I'm good. I'm kind of like our sub-guest.
Yeah, I mean, almost, just because this is your first time on. But, thankfully, we do have...
refer you off.
Yeah, well, you're on thin ice, mister. But, thankfully, we have an actual guest for Guest Month. We have Aevee. Aevee, how are you doing?
Good. Hi, everyone. It's Aevee, your favorite
That's
bee.
great.
Yay!
Right.
Can you tell us what you do for listeners who may not know?
Yes, I do so many things. I have a verbose and reprehensible Twitter account at Mammon Machine. I think that's how most people know of me. And I also run a online magazine of video games and criticism, comics, and whatever the hell else I feel like publishing, called Zeal, which you can read on Medium, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/mammonmachine. But yeah, and I also work as a freelancer for like Paste or like Shoryuken or Kotaku or Offworld like every once in a blue moon. I'm pretty busy with Zeal, so I tend not to freelance as much, but I'm also, like, super bad about work-life balance, so I tend to continue to write constantly, so...
That's a problem.
Yeah, so, you know...
We'll definitely have links to all your stuff on the podcast page.
Oh, wonderful.
That. Yeah.
So I don't have to, like... But yeah, so that's what I do. I've been writing for about, like, 6 or 7 years in the games industry by now, but... Most of it was really bad, so you didn't miss too much if you're just tuning.
Well, I guess we should just get going to the questions if you're all okay with that.
Yeah.
We got a
Yes.
we didn't get too many questions from the audience. Shame on you, audience. But thankfully, excuse me, the Chooch crew banded together. We used our combined might to come up with a couple of questions to ask you. So, first off, I think this is a let me see here, because we got a couple of these that let me figure out a good one to open with here. All right, this is a good one.
Oh God, Mask sent in a question.
Yeah, of course he did. He sends in questions all the time. He's the only one that's still good about this, and that's why he's still inbox champ. But,
yeah, is he still calling me lowrider? I forget.
I don't know. We'll find out next week.
Yeah, I guess since they brought it up.
But Aevee, first off, how does playing games influence your other interests and vice versa?
Whoa. Okay, let's see. That's sorry, it really blew me away there. There's probably a lot of go-between. I would say it might be more the other way, the vice versa, than it is the vice, just because, or the versa, I suppose. Just because I kind of come from, like, a creative writing background. That's what, like, I spent all of my undergrad and graduate school efforts as a creative writer, which was all completely not what I wanted to do, but I thought that's what I wanted to do. And so I spent a lot of time on it. And then I kind of like found video games and kind of like alt games, back before alt games as a word existed. And that was like really huge for me. And it kind of like I was finally able to kind of like find, I suppose, a way to write that felt like it was me and in my own voice. Even just like writing in games. It's just a different community, culture, space, that felt so different from, like, I guess the kind of, like, lit magazine, which everything that I was writing for previously was all geared towards. And that's not just, like, literary magazines, for y'all who don't know, have like a really specific, like, they're not just like a magazine of good writing. Often the writing is very good, but it also has like all sorts of like assumptions and standards about like what writing should be and what it needs to look like, and what makes it good. And that can translate into popular subject matters and popular styles of writing and stuff that just I wasn't feeling and wasn't speaking to me, and I wasn't feeling like I was able to work within, even to the point of like being able to kind of like subvert it or like do my own cool new take on it. It just felt like kind of suffocating, and it can be like that when you don't also have like a surrounding community who's feeling similar things and also inspiring you to do the sort of stuff you want to do. So partially because of all that, I started finding games and games writing being like a place that was kind of like speaking to that impulse a little better. Even though like comparatively, like my literary professors and all would be like, you're doing such lowbrow writing, you know, it's like so beneath, you know, whatever. But I guess like at a certain point I actually really stopped caring about that stuff too. And I started actually getting like more interested and invested in like, you know, even like figuring out like, how do you do like, I love all these like super over the top melodramatic anime games and stuff like that.
Yes!
I'm so glad the audience has enthusiasm for it. But like, I've spent a lot of time like thinking about like, whoa, how does that function? Like, you know, how does it work? And there's like Danganronpa, for example, like there is a whole lot of craft in that, like as silly and weird and bizarre and messed up as it is, it has like a lot of like interesting choices made that make it able to be so effective. Like there's a reason like a huge fandom community like created itself around it before that game, well before that game was like widely available. And I think that sort of stuff is really cool. And that's, so like a lot of my writing background, if I'm like actually even remembering what this question was about, really informs the way that I think about video games. Whereas video games maybe like less informs when I go back and like read books or whatever. But in some ways they do. I mean, like video games are kind of like help me think about systems a lot. And I found that, you know, like systems are a thing. We say that like stories aren't everything, like when we're in literature, you know, like, you know, humans tell stories, they create narratives out of like, you know, their experiences. They kind of like, they make sense out of the world. And those become our narratives, and we replicate those narratives and we tell them over and over, and we try and get out of those narratives or shove other people into those narratives, or whatever. But having games, I've started to be like seeing like, oh, there's also systems happening at the same time. You know, we have like social mores and conventions and like ways we interact with each other, or, you know, laws and politics and all sorts of like other things, bureaucracies, all have systems too. And those systems have like, you know, some of Ian Bogost's stuff in, I forget which one. In one of his books, he's been one of the people to articulate this really specifically about like, we live under these systems, and video games help us like talk about systems the way that kind of like literature lets us talk about stories. And seeing the ways that systems exist in literature, how they talk about, you know, how they sometimes talk about, confront those systems can be really interesting as well. I think like a lot of, this is verging back more into the pulpier stuff too, but like a lot of like anime and YA and whatever usually has as its premise a very like has like a really game-like premise for its conflict. And a lot of like narrative conflict, if you're like, oh, we're going to put these teenagers in a room and then they have to do something, you know, they're put under this like stress or duress or whatever like that. And even though they're not video games and often are never made into any sort of video games, they've got this premise, you know, that continues to feed the drama. And as someone who is a writer, I know that, like, if you got to come up with a story every week, or like you got to fill up however many pages to finish your novel or whatever, you have to have something that's already in place that's going to kind of like do some work for you to create that drama. You know, you can't like make stuff out of nothing all the time, you know, like, but if you have if you have like these strong, interesting characters and you put them in this really stressful situation, then you can be like, oh, they're going to like, this is going to happen. And these two are going to hate each other. And these two will fall in love. And this person will betray this other person. You know, you can kind of like create this sort of cascading effect.
I think it's really interesting that you brought up that specific stuff because, well, first off, I want to mention that this guest month is purely people that were voted in by our fans. So you were specifically requested to be on this episode, just to let you know. But
thanks, man.
Personally, for me, the first time that I was introduced to your writing was through an article that you wrote about Danganronpa. So I think it's really interesting that you're bringing up like the anime style games and the, you know, people being stuck in a stressful situation, it being game like, because I'm a huge Danganronpa fan. Those games mean a lot to me.
I'm glad I'm in that company. Yeah,
yeah,
I like it a lot too. Like far more than I thought I would.
Yeah, like I'm right now. I'm just like chomping at the bit for them to send me my Ultra Despair Girls review code because like I've like hung out.
Get out on that.
Yeah, go for it because I've been hanging out. I hung out with some Nisa people during Anime Expo, and they were just like, "Oh, we know you're gonna want to hang out at this thing. We know you're gonna want to take a picture with the Monokuma." And I was like, "Yeah, I do. You're right. Yeah,
I know you very well.
So cute."
But yeah, no, Danganronpa is really awesome, and yeah, that article that you wrote about it was really interesting, and I was like, as soon as someone was like, "Oh, you should have Aevee on there," I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna," you know. So yeah, thanks for being on again. So next question, I think this one flows pretty well, and I think this will be a bit easier for you to answer after that one. This one's just pretty basic. Who do you look to for writing influences and contemporaries?
Writing influences and contemporaries.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. All right, I feel like I'm gonna give bad answers to this. No. I for a lot of reasons, Zeal has kind of like created a little bit of a bubble around itself just because when I'm kind of like doing the Zeal thing, I'm wanting it. Part of Zeal is I'm not like a critic separatist, but part of Zeal's ethos was kind of like getting away from having to like rehash the conversations to the people who weren't in the know all the time, like the GGers of this world, etc. Who are like, who are like forcing us to like re-justify ourselves constantly, like be like aggressive against this force and kind of like justifying that our like we were allowed to exist. Basically, I think that work is like super, super important. But I realized that I was gonna have to like, if I wanted to do the writing that I actually wanted to do, I was gonna have to start compartmentalizing a little bit.
Okay.
And part of so I say that by saying like, so this is my lead in to essentially I'm not reading a ton of games critics at the moment. The people who have been big influences on me, I really liked Tim Rogers' writing. I know a lot of people don't like Tim Rogers' writing, but he was really influential on me just because he would always talk really specifically and in lots of detail about how it felt to play a game, and how games achieved making you feel a sort of like physical, tactile sort of sensation. And to me, that was like a really big deal because I was always like, okay, in this game, like, most game reviews are like, you shoot a gun and it's fun, or you shoot a gun and it's not fun. And I kind of like want to be like, well, why? Why is it fun to shoot that gun, but it's not fun to shoot this other gun? And they would use a lot of like really standard and meaningless language, but Tim Rogers would like actually get into what it really felt like. So that was like a big influence on a lot of my style and a lot of my kind of like close analysis of games, because I wanted to review games like a creative writer.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Rather than a literary critic. And like there's like a difference there, because a creative writer is looking at literature to see, how did you do that so that I can do it? How did you like spin that trick? How did you make that person feel that way? Like, how does this kind of like narrative, how does the structure, how does the form, like I'm a real formalist. Like I actually am interested in how like you achieve that sort of thing. A formalist, not like in the kind of like way that it's come to mean in some game circles, but formalist in the way that like I really care about craft.
Yeah.
So that was like a bit of a way, for me at least, that was an interesting way to get towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of other people I'm reading right now, I really like Jay Bearhat, who I have published. They've done some reviews and interviews for me, and also some cool writing some comics with my other friend Rory. They're doing like really, really wonderful writing, interesting like internet humor, and also doing like criticism within it. Jay Bearhat wrote like one of like this zine called Gay Apathy, which was really, really interesting and really, really like devastating. That I super liked a ton. And I'm reading a lot of comics lately as well. By like Kathy Johnson and Sophia Foster Domino and Mia Schwartz. And those have actually kind of like, I know I'm talking about people who aren't critics, but a lot of people who aren't critics have like influenced me by like articulating feelings and emotions that I have also felt strongly in really sophisticated and compelling ways. And I feel like that helps me to be a better critic. Especially because they're kind of like talking about, like, I'm talking about how this creative work does the thing, and they're kind of like talking about the original actual emotion with their own art. So like, I feel like I can kind of like learn a little bit more sometimes from like remembering that going back to the source is really important, and not just like looking for those feelings solely within creative work. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've also been reading a lot of like feminist criticism, like Julia Serrano.
Oh, that stuff's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really good. And it's like, a lot of people have been saying like, Aevee, wow, you're articulating all of these things. And I'm like, like, really? I just read this book and I'm just repeating it back. Because there were all these wonderful tools in it, you know? And reading those sorts of critics can be super, super helpful.
Yeah,
sure. Next question. Let me see here. Maybe I might trim a couple of these just for the sake of time. I don't know. We'll see where this takes us. Here's one. We could just talk about it. What do you hope your audience takes away from your work?
Whoa.
Oh, wow. It depends on the article, maybe? I don't know.
No, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. Somebody actually said something really lovely to me the other day, and I'm trying to remember her exact words. But I was like, whoa, that really is what I'm actually trying to do.
That's cool.
And now I've like totally forgotten it. I got some validation, and then swiftly forgot what that validation was. That's why I crave it over and over so much. Seriously though, I think like, I don't know, I want people to be able to. I want to give people tools that will let them look at stuff. Basically, I want to be like a non-prescriptive sort of critic, and I always try and like do whatever I can to kind of like not fall into that trap. That's why I think like kind of like laying blame directly on artists or directly on audiences is really counterproductive. And I want to talk about the way the work functions itself. It's both because like I was taught to like really look at craft and form, but it's also because I feel like this is the thing that we can like change and we can talk about. And you don't have to feel like guilty or bad for it. But it also like, it's not a moral judgment on you. And it's like, and it shouldn't be, because we all get dropped into this world and nobody's going to tell you this world is like super great or anything. It's not perfect at the very least. And if you want to be able to see and understand and kind of like live and survive it, tools to better understand that will really help you. And just being told, oh, this is bad or that is bad, that sort of prescriptivism always falls apart. In fact, I often see it just perpetuate more and more misunderstanding and violence, because people will take the prescription as law and not like understand, oh, how do I actually apply it to understand the nuances of this situation? I'm just going to use it as a blunt hammer to call so-and-so out. So that's why I think that like it's much, much more effective to like, I've worked as a teacher for about like, this is like going to be my 4th year. Or no, wait, it's going to be my 5th year teaching, actually.
Congrats.
And thank you. Yeah, whoa. Time does fly. But as a teacher, I found like, you can't just like be like, take my word for it, I'm the teacher. Like no student is ever going to do that. I would never, like, if somebody told that to me, I would be like, fuck you. I'm not going to listen to that. You're going to have to...
Teachers,
Yeah,
and the teachers tried to do that all the way through high school, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I just want to know why these trigonometric formulas work.
Right.
And they never tell you. You can like ask them point blank, and they're like, I don't know, just do what it says in the book, and you'll get the right answer. And I'm like, the right answer is a problem in a book. I don't care about the problem. I care about the principle. But
right, exactly. And that's what gets people creative, and it gets people interested, Like, that when you're just like, just do what it says, nobody, like, everyone wants to challenge that. And so, like, the best teaching is, like, here's a tool, you go do, like, we know this. It is, like, well-researched and well-known that the most effective ways of teaching are to be like, here's some tools, go. You use them, figure stuff out, come back to me, let's talk about it. Like, participation and understanding of the process is so integral to learning. And if I'm not going to be, like, doing anything that's effective, in terms of like criticism or teaching or whatever, if I'm not like giving people something to think about, instead of like giving people a blunt hammer to like smash people in their own community with, which is like what a lot of discourse ends up being. And that's like a lot of my frustration sometimes with criticism and the discourse TM.
The official discourse. Oh, sorry, hold on. That is extremely loud. Actually, on that, I had a writing teacher when I first started doing writing, who was very much like that. Was very good at giving us ideas and giving us forms, and then just letting us on our own, basically. He was a movie reviewer when he first started, and he kind of influenced how I look at games now. Because he was so open to letting you do your own thing and just using tried and true forms of review and of looking at certain forms of media. So I'm glad that you think of it that way and that you were teaching it that way, because that's how a lot of people will have open enough minds to be able to not only think of the things that they need to express in games or any other media, but they will also be able to put that down to word and will be able to send that out, which we need more of.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's definitely in a word what I am, or not a word, in a whole lot of words. That is what I want to do with my own criticism. Yeah.
Let's see here. Here's another question.
I was actually going to
Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really interesting because, like, the way I'm probably one of the worst creative writers you could, like, try to read. I was actually not a very good writer until I actually started going through my philosophy major. And that's... Yeah, so, like, I'm trained to write arguments, mostly. So, like, when you say that you want to train people to, like, look at games as... I'm sorry, words out. You want to train people to, like, examine games not as a literary critic, but as other such things. I mean, it's really interesting because, like, I try to think about what it means to look at a game as a philosopher, and I'm just... I mean, I can see systems, and I can kind of see... I can look at where a developer is going for a system, and I can try and say whether they succeeded or not. But it's really hard to say if they did succeed, would it have been a good thing? Would it have been a bad thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a super clear thoughts. I just thought it was really interesting how you, like, try to associate the field with, like, games criticism.
Yeah, it's going into a very specific form of writing, which is what I've learned this past year. This is my first year writing for games. It's trying to figure out where you come from and what you've learned. Like, since you said you came from philosophy, I recently changed my degree from engineering to broadcast journalism, which is television, movies, radio, everything. And I'm kind of seeing it from that perspective. I'm seeing the characters, the tropes, you know.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I'm translating it kind of from sitcoms or from movies or something. You kind of see that and you bring it into that. But it's interesting to hear it from a philosophy perspective, because philosophy is one of those things that is so well recorded and studied because of APA format and stuff. It's very easy to get these ideas that are well recorded, well engineered and researched. And from that, as long as you know how to read a psychology journal or a philosophy journal, you can really translate a game mechanic or a character or anything into that.
Yeah. Like, if I go through and I play Destiny, right? I guess what I see is, like, everyone's trying to like get something out of the game, right? So if you picked up the game, then maybe you're looking for some kind of fun that you don't think too hard about. Maybe you're looking for, like, some like really difficult Halo style PvP. Maybe you're looking for, you know, like a nice frontier to explore, which I looked for and did not find.
We got 3.5 planets and a couple cutscenes. We did not get that at all.
Yeah. Oh, well, more waiting for No Man's Sky, I guess.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Sean Murray, give it to me.
I can't wait until there's
right now.
no men in the sky. That's been my dream.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I see that, and so like, at the same time, I can also see how the developers are saying, no, you know, give us your time, give us your effort, give us, like, validate us, if that makes sense. Because, like, when you make a game and you're not in the business side, and you make, say you design a monster, right? You don't just want to make that monster so that you can... When you're working on a big AAA project like Destiny, I guess. When you're working on, like, some, like, small licensed movie game, like, you're just doing it for a paycheck, probably. But I guess when you're working on something like Destiny, and it hasn't been released yet, so it doesn't have a reputation yet. Like, you want the... I guess on some player level, you want the player to like what they're looking at. Mm-hmm. You want to feel validated.
You want them to get something out of it and to kind of internalize it and then maybe
Like, you
share
put-
it with other people, or just kind of take that and get something out of it. Like, since you're talking about Destiny, go back to Halo. People got a lot of that out of the multiplayer, obviously. That's kind of the biggest thing. But also, some people got really into the single player and got into the lore
I did
and
that.
the worlds they designed. Yeah, well, yeah, I did too.
I was an
Up to-
8-year-old
up to
kid.
2.
I was so into Destiny lore.
Oh,
I was that kid.
nothing wrong with that.
I wasn't 8. I was older than 8, but I was a kid. I can still go find my old Halo Mods posts. They're so embarrassing.
That is priceless. Well, I mean, like, I think that really speaks to what interests me about, like, game criticism in general, especially, like, when I'm looking for people for Zeal, is, like, people who have really, like, different perspectives bring really cool, interesting, different stuff to their game's criticism. You know, like, I really wanted Robert Yang to write something for us, who does all of those, like, amazingly cool, like, homoerotic, like, slice of life simulations that are just, like, super cool.
They're so good.
They're so good.
Those are fantastic to watch. I've seen multiple people post them and just kind of react to it. And what he does with, like, he's used almost like the same model in every one. Just the guy with the glasses and just doing all sorts of crazy stuff and tying it back to his perspective. Like, there's one where he's just eating a popsicle stick, and then there's one where he's, like, shooting people with love guns.
Yeah,
Like, that's great.
this kind of, like, this generic hunk that he has made. And, like, because he understands 3D modeling so extensively, and because there's, like, he's been talking recently about how, like, now the technology, like, to make just AAA looking, or, like, PS3 at least, quality graphics.
Like the stuff like Unity?
Yeah, exactly. It's really within people's hands right now. So, like, that is now, like, turning into aesthetic choice. But anyways, I was going to say is that because he understands that, and, like, that's a completely different perspective. You know, like, a lot of, like, if I try and criticize, like, a AAA game from a literary perspective, or my, like, own creative
There's
writing
nothing
perspective...
there.
You know, like, yeah, well, like, I mean, yeah, no, I think that is kind of, like, I will say that is mildly a little thing that I have with, like, criticism, is that it's, like, you've got this thing that's actually, like, some of its least interesting parts are, like, the only things that you can touch with literary criticism. But when you have, like...
it's so true.
But when you have, like, 3D modeling as your skill set, suddenly you're able to touch all these different things, and you can start talking about, like, aspects of the game that, like, I wouldn't be able to see at all.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of writing that I really value.
Awesome. Like, I'm actually kind of working on something like that, trying to get my own perspective into my writing. And it comes from all sorts of factors of my life. You know, being a mixed kid who was adopted, you know, I've got a lot to pull off of that. And I just wrote an article on that and tied it to Persona 4,
nice.
as I always do.
Somebody just linked that, and I was like, that looks really cool. But then it, like, flew by on my feed. So link it to me. I'd love to read it.
Yeah, and, like, I was bringing from that, and I'm working on something else too. Like, I'm recently figuring out that I'm relatively asexual. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out how to tie that into games. And the one thing that I'm looking at is romance games, and is the idea of romance in a game. So bringing it back to Persona 4, you know, it's real easy to pick up a girlfriend in that game. You go 10 social links and you're there. But, like, nothing about it to me translates to stereotypical sexual romance by the end. Like, I guess it's just the way that I've seen it since I've started playing those games. I just kind of see it as forming a relationship, and then that bonding, literally bonding, and they put up that, you know, you spend a long time with whoever, and you kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Most people do.
Yeah.
And I laugh at that every time because it's kind of where everyone goes, but I don't necessarily go there. I kind of just think, all right, they watched a movie. You know? Like,
you can
there's so many other things they could have done.
Right.
Did you ever play Persona 3?
Yeah, so one of these days...
Go ahead.
One of these days when I have enough time, I want to talk about everything that Persona 3 and 4 has done for me and just put into perspective. I could go hours on those games.
I just want to ask how you took Aigus's Papillon Heart.
Oh, that was the most beautiful thing, I swear. I love that concept. I love the fact that she has this thing that is mechanical and that is still a part of a computer system, but it makes her into a human. She turns it into her conscious, into her kind of her personality at the end. And you see it in the main game. She becomes human.
It's true.
She becomes
and then you
so
play
human.
the answer.
And it just ruins it all. And Metis is so weird. And Yukari just gets a bad rap because of the answer, and I feel bad for her. But I played the answer because I had to. Like it was at that point where I had sunk 120 hours into Persona 4 Golden. I'd just done my first run of Persona 3. I'm like, well, this is bonus content. Why not? And it hurt, man. It hurt.
Oh, no.
It did so much damage. Like everything that they kind of set up. Well, no, like I'm fine. I'll live. But like everything that they did in the main game and heading up towards that ending was just beautiful and heartbreaking for me because I'm sorry.
I was just going to add that if you play the arena games, then it's looking like they're moving towards resolution of Mr. Door.
No, okay, this is something I'm going to go off on. So Elizabeth in the first arena game, she's looking for a way to fix that. And they focus on that, and she unlocks the full Arcana, which for those who don't know about Persona, that's like the unlock all guns cheat, basically. So she gets that, and I'm like, cool, they're going to head towards this. And then Ultimax comes out, and I immediately played through the story. I did like a 30-hour run in 2 days.
I didn't actually get to do that.
It's got its goods and bads. But they completely drop that. She shows up and she's like, "Hey, I'm Elizabeth. I'm quirky. Remember me?" And then she kind of just dips off. So
she helps
like
Rize, and that's about it.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, this is how you attack with your persona, even though you were a navigator type. Good luck. I'm gonna be back at the ending." So like. I wanted them to really handle that with the two games, and I hear that's the last arena game they're making, at least for a while, and that left me so empty.
Have you ever seen an Arxis game resolve anything in a plot ever?
Oh no! You look at Blaze Blue, you look at Guilty Gear. Oh my god!
I was gonna say I have
years.
Kai Kiske is just still going.
I'm like I'm a Guilty Gear fan, and I'm kind of like bound. I'm in bondage to Blaze Blue, where it's like
I learned to play fighting games on Blaze Blue.
I was like, I actually did too. It was the first one that I had considered seriously, but I had played a lot of Guilty Gear and I really liked Guilty Gear. And so
which is cute if problematic.
Yeah, no, it's like I mean, describe a lot of things that I like that way, But I definitely like. What was I gonna say? Somebody just like asked me a question on Patreon about like fighting game story mode, so I was thinking about how to answer this. But I kind of like that their narratives get so overwhelming and bizarre and alien.
It is insane, yeah.
And like,
you're like
so
weird.
Talking about this, it's like here's my sin. I never like finished Persona 3, so like I just
neither did I.
I kind of like got disconnected at some point, and it's been like, and I had to like restarted it 3 times. Because it like new editions kept coming out, and I was like, oh, I should go back, and then I lost all my saves, and then it was like
you were
process.
Stuck in that wave of like Fest coming out and then Portable coming out.
Yeah, that's exactly when it happened, and it was a big problem because I remember like when I first saw the first trailer for Persona 3, I was like, this looks like the coolest thing, and I really did love it.
Aevee. Yeah. Thank you. I have a confession to make. I can't say that I've actually played Persona 3. I just watched the cutscenes on YouTube.
That's all you kind of need. If you are not in there for hundreds of hours of dungeon crawling and like, you're missing a lot of kind of the in-game audio, which is what they're really good at. They go back and forth really well. And there's a lot of events that you're kind of missing. But like, the main story is kind of what I really stick to on 3. People ask like, which is your favorite, 3 or 4 a lot. And my final answer is 3 has the better story, 4 has the better characters.
I think that's true.
That's what a lot of people, I think, say. Like, and I'm inclined to agree, even not finishing 3.
Yeah.
If you are a fan of heartbreaking moments, the last after beating the final boss, the last say like 30 to 45 minutes of gameplay and cutscenes is just rough because it confirms everything that you were worried about the main character, and then it just sends it home, and then it hurts. Like I don't often feel pain in games. I don't often connect with characters, but a lot of what the main character goes through is basically depression and sickness and being feeble, despite being this, leader of a huge pack of persona wielding people. But like because he's constantly tired. Like, that's one of the main game mechanics is that he is falling asleep in the dungeon, or he has to sleep during school in order to catch up on sleep, or else he's not going to fight well in the dungeon. And then at the end, it kind of ties all that in with how it is the game.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's something that I'm kind of worried about with myself because I'm a very sleepy person. I
Are
find
you on
excuses.
antidepressants?
No, I've got a thing with pills. I don't like taking them. But I've done a lot of things to help myself with depression and to keep myself moving. And getting into games and writing and stuff has helped me keep the momentum going. The ending of Persona 3 is very important for depression and just shutting down.
Yeah. Actually, the reason I brought up Aegis's Papillon Heart earlier is you said you mentioned that you were coming to terms with being ace.
Yeah.
When my girlfriend and I watched that cutscene, we can't help but snigger because it just strikes us as incredibly lewd.
Yeah, it's
so lewd.
It is because it's her showcasing herself at a very, very deep and personal thing. It can be very lewd, but it kind of translates to the boss in Metal Gear Solid 3 exposing herself in the final battle. It can immediately be seen as very, very lewd and, showcasing. But there are so many things behind it. She does it because in Metal Gear Solid 3, she does it to Big Boss because she's exposing herself to him in order to end it, in order to show herself fully. And that's what Aegis is kind of doing, too, to the main character and to the story. She is showing what makes her a person.
I mean, yeah, but there's that stuff about how if it's exposed to the protagonist's skin cells and oils, or genetic information we burnt into it. I mean,
that is very, very front facing and but
it reminds me. I played as long as you're talking JRPG shame. I played Artanelico.
Oh my god!
Once upon a time. And that also that is entirely has this fictional universe that is constructed, the features of the science fiction universe are and gameplay and everything are centered around these incredibly lewd sexual metaphors, which kind of I'm so fascinated by that sort of thing. It's kind of cool to talk about sex and relationships with things that are not actually sex at all.
That's true.
I find that stuff kind of fascinating. Not just because it's I guess getting around the censors or whatever. And sometimes that kind of giggly and instinct I think is fun because it kind of what's to say? It almost confirms that what's happening is intensely romantic or what have you on this level because you're having the same sort of reaction that you would if they were being actually lewd, but they've managed to make this metaphor as effective as being lewd, even if it's something completely different, she's a robot and here's my robot parts or whatever.
It's so true.
It kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of old TV and movies. When they couldn't show two characters being intimate, they would fade away and show something that kind of tied into that.
Yeah.
A train going into a tunnel or the fireworks going on.
Oh god.
The fireworks. Yeah, that sort of thing where it's really, here's we're going to show you the metaphor instead. but then to like literalize the metaphor within its like fictional universe or whatever. Sometimes that's really, really amusing. And I like that it becomes like that. Sometimes like fans or even like within universe will use this bizarre, like this fictionalized device or whatever to talk about sex. And that is often really funny to me, how that kind of like lingo develops. I don't know. I kind of like am fascinated by like the kind of like wikification or of a lot of like meta textual stuff. So that's always really interesting to me.
All right. That was certainly a conversation.
Yeah, sorry. We kind of went on a tangent.
I'm glad that these questions are sparking such interesting conversation. All right. Those were kind of our more general questions. I guess we can move on to the more specific questions for you. Here's one. You kind of talked about it a little bit already, but is there any other game critics that you want to bring up? Like, who contributes to alt game critique, and who is it for, and how has your audience responded to it?
Who has contributed to alt games critique before, and how has my audience responded to it?
Yes.
That's a good question. Let's see. Well, I really like Zolani's writing. He's one of like he's like a really cool rising star in critics as far as I'm concerned, and his stuff on Sonic studies has been so great. Just because because Sonic is just fucked up, man.
Yeah, no, I can talk about that. I've been reading the Sonic and Mega Man crossovers because I'm a really big Mega Man fan, so I've been getting those comics for a while, and they've done 2 crossovers of Sonic the Hedgehog. And
oh my god!
Because I had to subscribe to the Sonic comics to get the full story, after those crossovers are over, I kept getting Sonic the Hedgehog comics. And it was
my god!
I'm so sorry.
There's a character in Sonic Boom literally called the Comedy Chimp.
Oh my god!
Like,
oh my god!
Oh.
I can't make that kind of stuff up. Like, the Comedy Chimp. He's just a stand-up comedian, and he's a chimp. Like,
that's pretty bold,
my god!
man.
I just googled him and searched this guy. Oh my god!
Look at him. It's a monkey, but he's got a suit on.
Wait, I'm
he
gonna
tells
look at
bad
this.
jokes.
Oh no!
So like, yeah, that is like sometime in the 90s, like Archie got a hold of the Sonic license. Oh my god, it's horrifying.
And he's never, and Archie's never let go. Archie's never let go. And I like, there's a part of me that is so happy about that because there is just some bonkers shit coming out of that. Like,
there's some real weirdness, and it's affected culture and some like, and the games themselves have been such consistent failures.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like,
well, not consistent, but we definitely know the bad ones.
Pretty consistent.
When they fail, they fail really hard.
They've been as consistent about. If they were as consistent in their successes, I feel like a lot of AAA franchises would kill to be that consistent. The other way around.
Like when there is a good Sonic game, people have to talk about it for hours and be like, guys, no, listen, it's really good.
Yeah.
Trust me on this one. Like, it's such an uphill battle.
What was the one that came out before Sonic Boom? Like that one was supposed to be decent, right?
Generations, you mean?
Yeah, Generations was the last one that people said, no, this one, they actually got it right.
Yeah.
I swear.
Generations is good, but you can't convince people of that. You say that to most people, and they say,
wait, really?
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Did you see it that the Sonic Twitter account called out, I think, game trailers or something?
Yeah, I saw this.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because game trailers is like, Sonic Generations sucked or whatever, and then like, official Sonic the Hedgehog was like, you gave them an 8 out of 10. Don't talk shit on like that. And I was like, I don't know what is happening. They've got a great social media person though.
The person or the people who are running that account are on fire. If they ever step up to it and say, that was me, they've got a job at any PR firm in video games,
Oh my god.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
Because
no,
they turned a beloved character and made him beloved again. Everyone looks at Sonic games and goes, everyone looks at that Sonic the Hedgehog account and goes, hey, this is great.
Yeah.
If the Sonic the Hedgehog Tumblr is a friggin' ride and a half too. They make like fandom gifs for Sonic Boom and tag it with
Oh my
all this
God.
inane shit.
Oh no.
They
my
make
God.
memes and all that. They're like, hey, Knuckles is ready to do some lifting.
So they're
Oh my
basically
God.
even lift.
they're playing the Denny's playbook basically by owning it and trying to make it their own thing and spread it.
Yeah, but it's just even weirder
That's
because
the way
it's
it
Sonic.
works. I'm okay with that. I wish more games would do that instead of just having like our game is
Oh my
fucking
God.
state military secrets that we have to keep before the competition.
Yeah,
The fandom
it
finds
is-
out.
It has been rated by 1 million game sites to be the best. Like I'd rather it be like, hey, here's this character and he's doing all this dumb shit and we're having a good time with it. Like that interests me way more.
I
Oh
just,
my god. Well, I mean,
I
okay.
just wish this industry wasn't so bloody secretive.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just all by way of saying, like, somebody who's like tying all this shit together and like both on a level of like, this stuff is really weird, how does it function, like, you know, how these, as like his big 3-part series on Sonic Adventure and how that game is like, you know, at the time that it came out, it was like a big AAA release that everyone was playing. And like, in retrospect, it's like this barren alien wasteland that doesn't even know like what a 3D space is supposed to look like. And Zolani,
The
like,
game's not good.
it's not good. And so, but it's good in like this incredibly surreal way. Like the way that like the sort of games that Zeal likes talking about, which are like really fascinating failures. It turns out like Sonic Adventure is one of them, and because of it's that sort of like cartoony AAA game, like nobody's gonna like write serious criticism about it, you know, it just doesn't fall into the categories that does. But Zolani did, and then packed so much cool stuff. So like that's all my way of saying like Zolani is one of the people who I'm excited about alt games crit.
Cool.
Out of curiosity, have people been doing things on Sonic Adventures 2?
I think Solani, I know, is like working on that. He's going through the whole gamut. But
There's
I
a
don't
lot
know
to
too
talk
much
about
people.
in that game.
Yeah. Whew.
But yeah, it's
Sonic
like a
Adventures
similar
2. Yeah.
whatever. Even more like it was more reviled at the time for sure.
Yeah.
People
But,
still
like,
defend 2. I don't think
People
anyone
do
really
defend.
defends
People
1
do
anymore.
still defend 2, but
People still defend
What is
the
the
first
purpose
level
of
of 2
chows?
till the day they die. That first snowboarding section and then all the way up
Yeah,
to
that
that
was
boss
really good.
battle is remembered just as well as the whale sequence in Sonic Adventure 1. Both of those are such immediate imprints in their nostalgia memories that they forget that the rest of the game is so terrible.
it's so true. It's fucking horrible. Like I played Sonic Adventures 2 just like not a year or 2 ago. It was.
It's hard to go back to
What
those.
is the purpose of Chow?
Well, yeah, you want to get back
What
at
do
the
we
Chow
make of
Garden.
Chow?
Chow Garden's eternal.
Entertainment.
I love the Chow Garden. I mean, I love it, but why is it in the game?
That was something that someone slipped in right before certification, and then they were just
Wait, you
like,
think
no,
so?
but it uses the VMU, so we'll get away with it because Dreamcast needs some sort of use for the VMU. Just go with it.
I love how they changed the. So I played the PS3 port, and I think the VMU is that big thing in the corner of the Chow Garden, right? Like the device looking thing.
Yeah.
In the PS3 port, they renamed it to the Chow Departure Station because the VMU functions aren't there anymore. So its only use is
Anyone
to like.
who has a PC right now and who is playing PC games is either not old enough to remember what the VMU was and didn't have a Dreamcast, or remembers and says, that's not a thing anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's just where you send your Chow to go away. It's the Chow Departure Station.
Oh, what a time. That was such a crazy 1-2 punch of like amazing intros and amazing, like really hyped up, really well made games. And like, well, not really well made, but like well presented
Really
games.
well-made level.
Yeah, really, really great first levels. Nothing after that.
You could say the same thing about the first Sonic game, actually, because
Mhm.
once you get past Green Hill Zone,
What is there?
that game's not good.
Yeah, no, it's you don't have that same feeling of just pressing right and ending the mission in 30 seconds and hitting loops and corkscrews and stuff. Nothing has that same dopamine hit as that first level. And everyone will agree with you on that because they will pop in that first level, then they'll get to Green Hill Zone 2 and go, I've got something better to do.
No, the entirety of Green Hill Zone is good. It's when you get to the Labyrinth Zone or whatever.
Labyrinth Zone was just in Lake.
My girlfriend played up to the Bioworm the other year. I don't know why we got to the Bioworm, but we did.
Let's see here. Let's do I'll ask one more question, and then Lauren, you can ask yours, and then we have our listener question, and then we'll be done with questions because this is already pretty long. Let's see. Okay, here's one. If there's one thing that Aevee, if there's one thing that you would want AAA games to learn from alt games, what would it be?
Ugh, God, just one. Not
Just one.
Everything.
Well, if you don't want to go down to one specific point, what about alt games should be brought into AAA games? Like, it could be an idea, or it could be an approach, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, oof, Lord, so much.
It'd be nice if AAA games were personal.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of, God, I wish they weren't afraid to be weird. That's, like, the most general thing. And that's kind of, like, I guess, I kind of also don't mind that the AAA games aren't, because there are so many, what I call triple B games that are, like, you're like Yoko Taro, like your Niers and your Drakengard 3s and your like Suda
Dark
51
Souls?
games. Your Dark Souls. Dark Souls is definitely a triple B game, or at least it totally started out before it got so meteoric in its success. And even Bloodborne has like its like
It has a triple B kind of style to it.
yeah, it's like it's janky. You know, like
Well, it's From Software game.
still
From Software
pretty
doesn't make games
janky.
that aren't janky.
You know, like because From Software is using tons of like off the shelf tools and stuff because they don't have the budget or resources.
I think they do. Are you sure? Because like I know the stuff they do in Armored Core. I don't know if they do that with off the shelf stuff. But Armored Core is like an ancient franchise, so I don't know how far they've been recycling code.
Well, I mean,
But
like
it's still active to a degree. You'll see people carting around those giant Armored Core setups. Like they
I
were
play
at
Armored
PAX.
Core. Like
Yeah.
oh god, they had Armored Core players at PAX. Oh, why didn't they go to PAX?
Was it PAX or it was another convention that happened this year? I heard someone talking about it where they had kind of a
Are
side.
you talking about
It
Steel
might
Battalion?
yeah, that's
Steel Battalion
maybe.
is not Armored Core.
maybe. I think you're right. I
Steel
got my
Battalion.
NECA
Steel
games mixed
Battalion
up.
is not Armored Core.
That's the one
Armored
that
Core is a
That's
much
the
more
tanks.
anime robot game.
Yeah, that's the tanks with the huge controllers and stuff.
Yeah,
But I
that's
mean,
Steel
like,
Battalion.
they use stuff like Havoc, you know, and they like, which is not like
Yeah,
not to
that's
say that
true.
Havoc's bad or anything like that. It just like is, if you wanted like your physics code to work,
Yeah, oh yeah, they definitely
you would
use
write
their
it yourself.
Havoc as their
You
engine.
know, like, you know, and they're like,
It works for them.
it works. I mean, I know it works, but it works in some pretty hilarious ways sometimes. When like you
Sometimes-
happen to drag a corpse behind you and it gets stuck in your feet.
Listen. Dark Souls 2 not having corpse dragging was a problem.
I know.
It's
I'm
amazing
so
that's
used-
And
a
that's why they
selling
put
point.
it back in Bloodborne.
I'm so glad that they did. I know.
Bloodborne is a better game for it.
It was.
I've got to wonder.
It's
I've got to wonder how
100%.
much testing they did to make sure that came back. Like, we have to make sure that it is janky, and that the second they touch a corpse, that thing goes flying. That thing is stuck on their feet, or we are not shipping this game. That was
No,
a design
I would
document
not be
decision.
surprised if
I
Miyazaki did
hope
that.
there was somebody
It's the
who
kind of thing he would do.
was like, this is so important.
But no, can't you see him doing that though?
Oh yeah, I think that like
Like,
there is so much charm in that.
I mean, this is the guy who writes his dialogue in English in Japan. I mean, oh yeah. So fun fact for people who don't know this: all of Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne's spoken dialogue was recorded originally in English, and they give it subtitles in Japan.
Wild.
Yeah, I knew that. I remember that from like the very when it because like there was a Hong Kong edition of the game that came out, and people were importing it before it got localized, and it was because it was completely in English. All the spoken dialogue is English, not all the text. I think the text for the Hong Kong edition was actually in English.
Okay.
Okay. So, but all of the rest of it was too, and there wasn't like a whole bunch of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was it was pretty interesting.
I mean, I know this because I go kind of deep down the Dark Souls lore hole.
You go down the dark Souls.
Whole
Souls hole.
Listen, if you're a philosopher and you want to ply your trade, there is no better place to be than the Souls lore community.
That is such a well-made kind of universe because of the way they implemented it. And I've heard people talk about
this. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, it's implemented so well. It's just kind of put in. It's not slammed in your face with exposition.
It's horribly done.
No, it's not. So, it's really well done.
No, it's really well done. And
the lore.
Okay. I love the Dark Souls lore. It's some of my favorite lore. It's really great lore, but if you look to it to flesh out a setting, it doesn't do the job.
No, I think it's...
there are arguments that go around on actual Souls lore communities about whether there is a correct interpretation of the lore.
Yeah, that's why that is amazing.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that if you're looking to establish a setting, because I run D&D games in the Dark Souls setting.
No, I have to fundamentally disagree. I think it's actually a much better way of doing exactly what you're talking about, because it leaves things up to interpretation, because it tells its story through item descriptions, through NPC weird offhand NPC dialogue, through cutscenes that don't give you a lot of context.
It wasn't quite the word I wanted there. I mean, if you're expecting Dark Souls to establish a detailed setting like you get from a Mass Effect game, it's not the way you would do it. That's what I'm saying.
But you're getting kind of tossed off scraps from them. Right. You're not getting a well fleshed out.
I know, and it's the right decision for Dark Souls.
Yep.
I mean, I will.
Trust me. I love.
No. But this is really, really though what I mean though.
Okay.
It's I don't like Mass Effect's lore or the way that it conveys lore.
Okay, yeah.
The way that I actually what Dark Souls does that Mass Effect don't is actually to me, I love that so much more. I think it's so much more interesting as lore. I think it's so much better told. And I think it really, because people are still having debates to this day, you're saying,
I think I know how it works.
That's a sign. It's a sign though, but it's a sign though that there's that it's rich enough to continue having thoughts about, rather than I'm going to read every diary entry of everything that happened. It feeds on your imagination more, and I like games that kind of inspire me to think about them, or to imagine their features, that give me these cool broad strokes and then really fascinating details, but so much in between that I can kind of hold on to, rather than trying to than just being so rote and categorical about it, and then just telling me oh, here's the canon. There's there's all of this stuff, and if you read this book and you read that thing, then you'll get even more and more of the story. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't really want to know.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think I expressed myself very
well.
I think that for games, the way Dark Souls does lore is better, right? Like, I think it's just a better way of storytelling. Like, just as an example, I was playing a little bit of Skyrim, like before I got on here, because it's Skyrim. Mm-hmm. And I was doing a quest where you find this mentally ill man's like dead sister, and so
Jesus.
Yeah, it's
I missed that one.
It's in Iverstead. You can go check it out.
Okay.
Anyways, you go talk to the innkeep. He's like, oh, she used to go gather. She's probably dead, but she used to go gather herbs over on this island, to the east of town. So you go to the island. She's not there. You go a bit downstream of the island. She's not there. You go upstream of the island, and you can find her corpse upstream of this island where she supposedly died on the riverbed below a bridge. I mean, intuitively, like, it seems like somebody killed her and dumped her off a bridge, but the quest doesn't let you, like, register this at all. You just go turn it in, and, like, you give the ill guy his sister's pendant, and you get your reward, and, it's all good.
Yeah,
but,
the same...
But
Yeah, because
at the same time, it seems like there's more to the story.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating that the game doesn't let you, like, fill that out. And I think that the story they told by the placement of that corpse is, like, so much more interesting than the story they tell with, like, the quest dialogue. I agree.
Yeah, totally.
I'm just saying, if you're looking to establish a canon, if that's what you're doing with your story, if that's what you're doing with your game, and to be clear, it's definitely not what Dark Souls is trying to do. Dark Souls doesn't want a canon. Like, people honestly think that there actually isn't a Dark Souls canon, and that they have, lore descriptions in Dark Souls seem to me like they're built more for flavor and establishing a mood and having, like, a certain requisite number of, like, links.
That's so much better than... Yeah, no, I just, like...
No, and it's good, and it's good, and it's the right choice for Dark Souls.
I guess I would
But Dark
say...
Souls doesn't have a canon.
Right. I would, like... I guess, like, I'm kind of, like, pretty much, like, anti-canon. Okay. In that, like, in the way that you're, like, talking about it. I just don't, like...
That's fine.
I, like... And I would say even for a Dungeons and Dragons setting, like, when I do, like, storytelling games, I actually like having a similar thing as Dark Souls, where it's like, oh, let's leave this open, because we're also, like, creating the setting as we're going.
And you need to leave, it's good to leave some wiggle room.
Some wiggle room for me to, like, in case I need to pull something out of my ass.
Which you do. You will. Players are crafty.
Yeah, I guess, like, I don't, like...
I will.
One of the things, I would almost, like, say, if we're still on the topic of what things I wish AAA games were doing, I actually think, like, not holding on to a canon
that's a bit more
would be kind of, like, one of them. And I know, like, part of that is them, like, wanting to establish these, like, big multimedia franchises that have all of this stuff in them. And, you can read the book, the official book of the game of the movie, like...
Yeah.
So...
If more AAA franchises did that, wouldn't they kind of make themselves significantly less accessible? Like, I have some friends who, like, despise the way Dark Souls tells their story. I think they're nuts, but, like, they don't think it's good storytelling.
I don't think that, like, necessarily you might want to do it the way that Dark Souls does it, but I don't think the way that, like, Assassin's Creed does it is good.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, that's the counterexample, Like, I mean, like, Mass Effect, like, I don't, like...
Mass Effect is tolerable, I guess.
Yeah, but it also, like, has a lot of, its attention to detail is in, I guess, areas... Actually, like, Mass Effect is probably... I'm often
like
way too harsh on Mass Effect.
Like the encyclopedia thing in the first game?
Yeah, there's some stuff that's interesting, and there's some stuff that it's like... Maybe you could find a different way of telling this.
Yeah.
But maybe you could like work on making this consistent with your other stuff. Because like Dark Souls, consistency comes from having, like you said,
a lot of ambiguity.
Yeah, it's a lot of ambiguity. Helps make it more consistent. But also having like a really consistent mood and aesthetic where I'm like,
Yes.
I know what this is about. Whereas like Assassin's Creed is like, how many like half-baked Dan Brownisms can we like shove together? And we're gonna like make this big thing where there's like more and more secrets and there's more and more details. And like it's the kind of like, I think like Lost model kind of like ruined a lot of things. But they figured out that like you could like, if you kept on stringing along this mystery, you know, it could like
eventually
you could get people invested and people care, like, but you could also like make people like, I don't even give a shit about that. And then when you got to the end, the payoff was never going to be like anything really interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you,
Minerva, really?
Right, exactly. Whereas if you like focus on a feeling and mood and emotion, like Bloodborne has like a lot of like...
Bloodborne is so good at this.
Right, it's like talking about some stuff, even if it's in like very oblique ways. But it's like better at talking about that stuff than this like really elaborate sci-fi universe. Is like it has all this history and it has all this detail and it has all of this stuff in it. But what is the function of that stuff? Like, why is it there? Is it just for the sake of being there? Like, and it's like, I know actually in the case of like Mass Effect, that is not actually true. Like often like they're like, oh, this alien species exists so that we can tell a story about this sort of thing. And they have this culture that allows us to talk about this sort of thing. But I feel like you can also be a lot more direct than having 10,000 encyclopedia entries. That's what I believe. I think you could get people more invested.
What are lasers used for on starships?
Right, like...
Aevee, don't you need to know what lasers are used for? Don't you need to know that starships fight at knife fighting ranges?
Right, like...
What about the masculinity?
These are the things that I like. These are what I want to hear less of. That's what, like, you know... Here's one thing that I will say. I actually, like... I like Destiny.
I actually do like Destiny's lore. Destiny has great lore.
Destiny has some really cool... Like, none of the actual cutscenes in the game are tolerable.
Terrible.
But like
Grimoire though.
But Destiny's aesthetic is really neat. It's like it's kind of like worn down and dusty, and it's got like this mix. Like even the environments, the like social environments,
it's very pretty.
Are like this.
Setting it after a golden age was a really smart move because they were able to kind of step just past what most people do, like what Mass Effect did with being this golden age of communications and transportation and stuff. They made this very run-down world, and they made it very difficult to get to the different planets, and it flavored it just differently enough.
Right, it's like moody,
I think that's true.
It's lonely, there's a lot of like... Yeah, it can be lonely, but it's got like a lonely feeling to it. It kind of like...
Yeah, if you play solo, definitely. Right.
Like, you know, it's just got some things about its like aesthetic or like the way that it's flavor text or whatever. And I like that it kind of like gives you like, I like Destiny best when it's got like this hyper advanced mystical stuff, and it kind of like feels
like the stuff in Crota.
Yeah, or like
the Hive stuff,
or just like it's general like everybody has like magic sci-fi powers. Like
you'd probably like the Vault of Glass.
I think I really would, but like I guess it kind of like sometimes it reminds me of like the very, very original, like, first watching I had of, like, Star Wars, where it was, like, it's, like, they're on this, like, magical sci-fi world, and nobody's, like, cares about how anything works, and there are no midichlorians, and nobody, like, gives, like, you know...
Yeah.
Everybody, like, there is no sort of explanation for how this stuff works. It's just the texture of this world. Because, like, Star Wars is really, like, a fantasy movie rather than, like, a sci-fi.
That makes sense, yeah.
And I kind of, like it, like Destiny when it's being aesthetic rather than
Rather than trying to tell a story.
Rather
like
than,
a
like...
story.
Or even, like... Or not like a story, but like a codex, you know? Like...
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, like when it's like... Oh, we're like... You know, there's some stuff. There's like cool, bizarre, weird stuff happening, but... I don't know.
Have you read any of the Grimoire?
Yes, I have. I've read some of like the weird stuff, like the...
Oh, the weird Grimoires are really good. Like the one with the Vex doing the simulation.
Yeah, like that's the one that I think is the coolest thing. It's like, oh yeah, they're just trying to like rewrite. They're trying to write themselves into history, and like, what is it? What do? They like...
They should have just shot the Vex.
Yeah, they like ontologically like erase you, and that's how.
Yeah.
Which is like...
Well, there's a lot of that in the vault.
That's cool. That's real cool. Like, and it's like probably for the best that it's in the Grimoire because it... I don't know.
You will... I need to take you through the vault and explain some of the lore as we go through because it's really cool.
Please do.
You sound like such a good tour guide. Like just...
I haven't actually done any raid
class.
Sherpaing before, but maybe I should.
We should do that, like... Sorry, I work at a college, so I can't help but think of, like, the backwards walkers. Like, you know?
Oh, it's okay.
Like, thousands of machine armies.
Lauren, shall we, you ask your question, then I'll ask questions.
Okay, so this is something I want to know personally.
Uh-huh.
Where do you find all the alt games? I want to play more alt games, but I can't find them. I used to find them because Porpentine would feed them to me on Rock, Paper, Shotgun, but she doesn't write there anymore.
Yes. The probably Forest Ambassador is the best place to get.
Forest Ambassador?
That's the place where I get all my alt games. Merritt's Down Home Country alt games store. But yeah, that's like Forest Ambassador. I think it's like forestambassador.tumblr, but it's like or it's just forestambassador.com. But it's like just Merritt Copus's basically doing like a similar thing of like curating and talking about like interesting alt game stuff. And she's usually like pretty minimal. You know, it's like here's the thing, here's its mood. She's got like a really nice kind of like short, sweet.
Oh wow, monster dress up looks cute.
Yeah, and like she posts really interesting games. I feel like I'm bad and don't play alt games as or like I'm not on the alt games as much as I should be, but I just played that really cool what is it? You die in a house. I tweeted about it today. A comics person did it, and it's about like you're in this haunted house. It's really beautiful and really well done.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and find it because I think everyone should play it, and I like her work a lot. I'm probably gonna publish her on Zeal. But yeah, I think it's like, I don't really have time. Like, you know, I think actually, to be honest, Merritt just like tells me she looks at the front page of Itch.io.
Okay.
And like,
I know Itch.io.
And like, sometimes a lot of that's where she found her games, and I like found some really interesting games by finding games that she liked, and then like I got results for similar games, and then I got...
I don't have enough money.
Y'all...
I want to buy all the games on
am I the only one hearing seagulls?
I heard that
seagulls.
too.
Oh, you might be hearing them. That's my fault. I'm so sorry.
Oh, do you live near a lot of seagulls?
Yeah, I live in Washington. On pretty much like... The sound is like 2 blocks from my house. So...
It's all good.
And the sound of seagulls is loud and everywhere.
Alright, so I guess I'll ask good old Masks questions.
Yes.
I remind you that he is inbox champ, but if you wish to try to dethrone him, the places that you can send questions for, we're going to be doing guest month stuff for the next 3 weeks, so next week we are interviewing Steve Gaynor of Fulbright. But for any other kind of questions you want to ask, you can either send them to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask or our email address, which is podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. So, Mask always sends these questions in all caps, and he says, "This is the question for the guest, not the rest of you losers. Guest person, if you had to get in a fight right now and had to choose an animal companion from the following to aid you, what would you choose? A seagull with a knife duct taped to its beak, an armadillo with a gun, or a gorilla with a kitten that it loves very much. However, the cute kitten also happens to be on fire."
Yo.
Whoa. This is
I'll
the
take the
hardest
armadillo with the
question
gun.
I've
Lauren,
ever been
this is
asked.
not for us.
I
This is
know.
for the guest.
I know.
Wow. This is a strong... Like, I feel like having just summoned that flock of seagulls, I really gotta go with a seagull with a knife taped to its beak because I feel like
And
I
now-
have some sort of
And now
kinship.
you have to fight to a flock of seagulls too. That has to
Yeah.
be the soundtrack, obviously.
Squawk, squawk,
Like,
squawk.
you'd have the duel at dawn on the beach with the singles like flying in a circle around the thing, and one just flies down, joins you at your side.
I hope that, yeah,
you
no,
you
with
stare down your opponent, who's the armadillo armed with the gun.
I think we're describing Kingdom Hearts 3 right now. Have you seen those promos? Like that first trailer they did. That's exactly what that is. It's like a cloud of Heartless, and then just a train comes out of nowhere.
Pretty good.
I'm excited.
Oh, is it the same train from Kingdom Hearts 2 that they had that
Maybe.
whole fucking side quest about?
No. It's not the mystery train. It might actually be the mystery
Well,
train.
it's a train from Disney. I don't remember exactly what it is. I think
It's a
the,
train ride. It's the one that goes loop to loop.
Okay.
I think
Disney
it's
trains
Thunder
are all the
Mountain.
same.
Yeah, or something like that.
And then they have the boat that goes back and forth
Yeah.
as well.
All right. Next question. What are your thoughts on nachos?
Oh, nachos are wonderful. They're a beautiful food.
Final question.
Glad that we got that over with.
Final question. What is the most regrettable purchase you've ever made?
Oh, God.
Oh no.
I have made a lot of really regrettable ones in my life. Lord, all purchases, can we like limit it to video games or?
If you whatever you feel,
Whatever you think
is
would be
a good
funniest.
answer. Yeah, whichever one will get the most chuckles out of everybody.
Whatever will get the most chuckles. God, I'm not good with money. I think that sort of game. I just bought the latest Blaze Blue. Does that count? That's a
damning.
really
That's a
bad
very damning way to put it. Like, you like the Blaze Blue series, why not buy it? Like, please tell us why you are regretting this already. Have you even popped it in yet?
No,
played it?
like I played it for a little bit. I
Okay.
played it for like 5 minutes and then it was
Those
like,
games
oh,
never
wait,
change.
It is still Blaze Blue. No, actually, I don't even regret that purchase that much because I like, because there's a character who's like, somebody who doesn't know how to fight, kind of like cutely getting in the way of a robot that does know how to fight, and that's all of the animations are her kind of like flailing a little or getting like gently pushed out of the way so the robot can like punch the enemy. Like, it's really, really well done.
That sounds adorable.
So that was like, it's super cute. So that
I
actually
definitely want to
was
give
cute.
Blaze Blue a chance because I just got into Guilty Gear with Epsiode, and I'm not particularly great at it, but you know, I want to try more Arc Sys games because I mean, I liked Ultimax and all that too. So
Blaze Blue is Guilty Gear, but slightly slower and easier to play.
all right, good.
Oh,
That sounds good.
Sold. Any slow anime game, I'll take. Because God help us.
Slightly slower, slightly.
Blaze Blue is not a slow anime game.
It's not slow, but it's slower than Guilty Gear.
Yeah, anything that's slower than
It
Guilty
is.
Gear, I might be able to handle.
It is slower than Guilty Gear. It is pretty fast. It's not as like
Yeah, it's still an Arc Sys game.
yeah. It's still like Ultimax is very fast, but it's also quite simple. I feel like Blaze Blue is almost the worst of both worlds, but it's also like a pretty interesting and fun game in and of itself.
Yeah,
It's better than the sum of its parts, basically.
It's no JoJo's.
I just said that this was
All-Star
the thing
Battle.
that I regretted, right?
Yes.
No. I clearly don't regret it as much as I could have. But you know what? I tend to not live life full of regrets. So I'm gonna say,
Words to live by.
Just like when I make a really embarrassing and bad money purchase, because I do that so often, I have to put it out of my mind very quickly.
Did you?
I have found ways to kind of justify myself so that I don't really humiliate and feel endlessly guilty that I've spent.
You've basically normalized
amount
it
of
for
money.
yourself.
I have. I kind of I'm a lot like my mom, so.
Did you get anything in the Steam Summer Sale?
I haven't played a PC game in years.
Oh no!
I don't have a PC, and I've actually kind of I used to only be gaming on the home computer, but since I got a PlayStation and a MacBook Air, I have tended to not actually.
Oh. I just put together a computer, so.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna I live in a small apartment, and I try and not spend, because I spend my money so stupidly sometimes. I try and make up for it by being really clever other times. So
I need it for XCOM 2. You don't understand.
Yeah, see, I've let it go.
XCOM, no.
Lauren, release yourself from this prison of XCOM.
No!
Get away from the snake people. The
Guys!
Sneeple.
What? Why are we talking about Sneeple? I don't understand.
Welcome to the
Guys!
official Xbox 2 podcast.
What? No!
But Lauren's not allowed on it.
Everyone mute Lauren now. Let's start this thing.
No.
Yeah, Niall, I want you to just delete Lauren from this entire podcast.
Oh my god! No!
That's that ontological deletion you were talking about.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Niall
It's
is an
happening.
oracle.
Niall the Oracle. I like
But
it.
yeah, that was the super long question portion of the podcast. I guess we should just get through the news real quick, and then we'll be done.
Aevee, these guys are mean.
Oh, well, stop bullying Laura.
No, it's okay, Lauren. We love you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we want you. If we did have an official XCOM 2 podcast, you'd be on it.
Okay.
That's such a glib thing to respond.
Sponsored by 2K.
Like, I know you love what you love, and you're the only person in this room, but good
Oh
for
my
you.
god, you guys! Oh my god! Ah.
Lauren, look, you're gonna get XCOM 2.
I'm
You're
not
gonna play it.
upset.
Yeah, you kind of sound like it, though.
I'm okay.
Okay, I'm terrible at reading emotions,
I'm okay.
especially over a Skype call, so
I am okay.
I'm just making sure I didn't do any damage. This is my
John
first
knows.
time on the podcast.
John knows. Don't worry, the listeners love it when I
Devin's-
cry.
Devin's already ruining every relationship in Chooch. We're all enemies. We're not. This isn't a friendly place.
What happened
Good.
to the old
I
I'm
didn't come to
Coast
this
so
Mountain?
good at
podcast
that.
to be nice or make friends.
Hell yeah. Came
Oh,
for
no,
war.
that is why I came. I came to make friends.
Oh,
Well, too bad.
Oh.
Good luck with that. You didn't get any here. Sorry.
oh.
We're all just brandishing knives around, like throwing them into dartboards.
Oh my god.
So,
No.
video game news, everybody. Wow.
What's a
Yay.
news story? What?
Yowza. Let's see here. What should we start out with? Since y'all were talking a bunch about Destiny, how about we start out with the big Destiny news?
Good segue. Way to do it.
Yeah,
Way to do it.
A
Gamescom.
triptych of high runes.
Speaking of
Gamescom was
ontological
this-
erasure,
Gamescom was this week. So,
Oh my god, goodbye, Dinklage.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the news now, Lauren, because you talked about Destiny for like an hour, so I'm taking
I haven't done it for 3 months.
I got to take the podcast back. I'm sorry, Lauren.
You sound like a smoker who just gave up and then just immediately dropped a whole carton. You just dropped a whole carton of Destiny on us, unfiltered. Fuck. Okay, what's happening in Destiny World, please? Because I gave up this game at level 19.
So,
you gotta come back, man.
Peter Dinklage played the Ghost, which was the little floaty robot that talked to you. And I guess it's useless.
There's a wizard on the moon phase. Fame. That's
but
they took that out of the final game. I was sad.
He's not in this anymore. I mean, a lot of people made fun of stuff like that. Exactly, the wizard on a moon and all these other jokes about Peter Dinklage's how his acting, his performance in this.
It was. He sounds angry at the script when you play the game. It's amazing.
But
his intonation is just so off. Like, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Aevee,
He sounds to me like he was looking at the voice director and at the recording people dead in the eye the whole time and just shaking his head and just making jack-off motions. Like, he was just done from the first line.
It was so good, though.
Exactly. That made it great.
Because he was like, okay, I said this on Twitter, but like, not since Resident Evil 1 has someone put the wrong intonation so consistently on the wrong words. Like, it's incredible. Like, he says stuff that's supposed to be straight-faced sarcastically, and he says the sarcastic, jokey stuff with a straight face. Like, and you can't fucking tell because the script is a mess. It's so great. I love it.
I'm really wondering how Nolan North is gonna like follow that performance. We should probably actually explain what the news is.
For the actual news bit, once the Taken King comes out, which is Destiny's next expansion, all of Peter Dinklage's work will be replaced by Nolan North, even his old lines from the beginning of the game. So if you start the game anew, it'll be Nolan North, not Peter Dinklage, which makes sense, but it's still it's such a strange thing to happen. Like, I've never heard of something like this happening, but I guess because Destiny is such a persistent, updated thing, like it's
actually being maintained pretty well.
Yeah, like people
Except
saying that it's
balance.
barely a game more than like the actual thing that you purchase, like the disc isn't really the game. It's like it's basically the launcher. I think that's interesting.
Basically.
Yes, it is. It's like an MMO starter pack.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they have a lot of money. And people keep on giving them a lot of money.
They're going to be buying the next one.
Even though they keep saying they're not going to. They're like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah. And they're going to, like... I'll just say, like... The Peter Dinklage decisions do not sound like they were made with a lot of foresight in mind. You know, like... There's...
Yeah.
I'm going to say for a lot of things. One, like, it's infamously bad. But if it was just a mockery, there's, like, a lot of mockeries. Like, you know, Patrick Stewart's, like, fucking thing. And, which one is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Oblivion?
Yeah, it's Oblivion.
Yeah, Oblivion.
But, like, with them, they had to, like, know that they were, like, oh, we're gonna expand this. We're gonna, like, have to record more lines.
Yeah, there's not really... I think what happened was that they thought they had Peter Dinklage on longer term. But then Peter Dinklage got the script, and he did the work he got paid for, and he was like, no more, you've already ruined my reputation enough, and they just
Then he
couldn't get him
went
on
and
again.
did Pixels. What are you talking about?
He was in
Well, he can only do one bad decision at a time. He can only really, like, because he has to balance out basically being in Game of Thrones. So this is kind of this is the nadir, basically. He can only do one at a time alongside Game of Thrones. He can't be taking a dump on two different projects while doing Game of Thrones. He would just implode.
I'm just imagining Peter
He just doesn't
Dinklage
have
being
enough
like...
shit.
I'm just
He doesn't have
imagining
enough
him
shit to
being...
give.
I'm imagining him being like, oh, okay, I don't want people to think I'm that great of an actor, so they don't hound me all the time. So I'm gonna do all my good work on Game of Thrones, but then everything else I'm just gonna do whatever the hell. I don't care.
Okay, what I actually think is that Peter Dinklage did a fucking amazing job with the script he was given.
Yeah, he made it his own thing, and it was a weird translation, like you were saying,
oh no,
he flipped it so much that now we can't stop talking about it.
We love it.
Yeah, but I think someone got on the big red phone at Bungie and said, "Get Nolan North now."
Yeah, I mean,
get one of those 3 dudes everyone knows.
Yeah, get a safe. Nolan North is definitely a safe casting option.
Yeah,
this is not.
He's he's done video games before. He knows what it's like. Yeah,
he's done a lot of games. He's Nathan Drake.
Whoa, Nolan North is a video game voice actor?
Yeah.
Next you'll tell me that Troy Baker does video game voice acting.
Get out of here.
They were okay, he's
Yuri Lowenthal. Sorry.
So they basically got the voice of Nathan Drake in to do it. Probably, I think they brought him on because Bungie, for all the staring at Destiny they do, they're not a very self-aware company.
No.
They're very much not a self-aware company.
Just look at Halo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Halo.
They made Halo Wars 2. They made Halo Wars 2.
I have
that's 343.
So, shoot, sorry.
There was an interview that the lead designer... Guys. There was an interview that the lead designer gave, semi-recently about before they did the pricing change in the new expansion pack. Where, this interviewer was, asking him, hey, why is this expansion pack priced so awfully? And he was like, what? What are you talking about? It's fine.
That you want to play for the exclusive content interview?
Yeah, the $80 one?
Yeah, well, there's, a part where he says, he just, he makes it sound like it's, an indecent proposal or something. He's
yeah,
you will pay for the exclusive content. Let me tell you how much you want the exclusive content. I think he says that word for word. That might not be a joke that I'm making.
Yeah, I think I might actually say that. But the point is that Bungie doesn't know who Bungie is. They know what Destiny is. They know what their Destiny fans want. They do a good job of listening to the fans. They don't know who they are.
This is kind of their first big. This is their first big identity since Halo, so of course they're gonna have a hard time figuring out what the front-facing thing of this is.
But yeah,
and they're obviously not willing to try to play with it or be very tongue-in-cheek with it because this is their second baby basically.
Yeah. I feel like what Destiny needs to do with its storyline is that it needs to embrace the cheese.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You on board with this, Aevee? We need more crap like Peter Dinklage.
No, I absolutely agree. And I think that, if I was given a script like that, and I knew how to act, I would be are you, what if, okay, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard, on filming the original Star Wars movies, Harrison Ford apparently said to George Lucas at one time, he was like, George, you can write this shit, but you sure can't say it. And that strikes me as such a great line about, writing in, whether it's genre movies or video games. So I kind of, really appreciate him doing the script justice in his own particular brand.
You can't. I couldn't have done that. I mean,
no, it takes a great actor to be able to
do what he did. I just wish that they would double down on it. I want more oh my god, Crota is returning with Era's flailing her hands around and spinning in a circle. you know what I mean?
And we may actually get that with Nolan North. He could probably it'll probably be some sort of secondhand version hey, remember what Dinklage did? Can you do that again?
Yeah,
can you bring the magic back?
if they tell him to do that, then I'll be really happy.
And
I honestly think the main reason they're re-recording it is they just don't want to have to explain why the ghost's voice changes.
And also, like Nolan North is he has a lot more range than people give him credit for. Like, I mean, it gets brought up a lot, but he was all those different personality cores in Portal 2, and none of those sound anything like his, I guess, normal voice, his Drake voice.
Yeah, no, he is totally. He is actually quite capable of, and I'm sure he'll do a good job.
He'll do a good job.
Yeah.
But
So
I don't want there to be a good job done on that game.
Yeah. Right? Oh my god.
Yeah, they should just go full hog and make Destiny a bad, like, B-movie game. Like,
you want it to be Deadly Premonition.
You
guys want it to be Deadly Premonition.
Yeah, exactly.
I want it to be the Plan 9 from outer space of video games. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
We need that. We actually do need the Plan 9.
We actually do need that.
Well,
because they made a Man of Hands of Fate game. Yeah, you could totally do that. Like, speaking of, like, terrible B movies and old sci-fi stuff that was so shit it's good, that would totally be great. Like a Plan 9 game.
I feel like the Plan 9 of video games is Big Rig Truckers.
Oh. Big rigs over the road racing. I mean, no.
Yeah,
I mean, just like more like
something.
accidental cheese. Like Big Rigs was just like a bunch of like weren't they like Russians?
That's what that is for games.
No, because the thing is that Plan 9 had like some love put into it.
Edward was really trying to do a good job. It's true.
True. And that's the difference. I think the actual Devin bringing up Deadly Premonition is that Deadly Premonition is the kind of game where there is. Like, you could tell that Swery made that game because he just loved that kind of story. He loved Twin Peaks, and he wanted to make his own Twin Peaks.
But he'll never admit it. He will never admit it.
He will never admit it.
He can't legally.
I swear to God,
he got in trouble.
There's no way he wasn't watching Twin Peaks when he made it.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way. Yeah, you can't.
Do you know what kind of touches on this, too?
What?
Stubbs the Zombie. Do you remember that game?
I have heard of it.
It was this weird send-up to zombie movies. You play as the zombie, as Stubbs, and you go in all these different environments, and you go through the story, and it kind of turns on the ear the whole idea of being a zombie, and it plays off of that really well, and it's very kitschy, it's very tongue-in-cheek, and it kind of plays with the format, kind of like what you're talking about with sci-fi.
All right.
Okay.
And then also, what was that Alien game on the original Xbox? Man.
Destroy All Humans?
Yes. Destroy All Humans.
Yeah.
It kind of did that too.
Destroy All Humans was okay.
That was pretty good. Like, that was actually a decent game.
It was a very good game, but it also kind of it took that trope, it took that form and kind of played with it.
But I wasn't talking more literal though, because Destroy All Humans is playing off of Plan 9, like straight up, like those kinds of movies. I'm just talking about something in the vein of this is something that is very strange, very just out of left field, but comes from the heart of somebody who you don't really think would have that kind of capability or have that have the ability to have such a loud voice, I guess, in this sort of industry, but you're able to have that kind of attention and listen to that voice, and I think that's an interesting that's a good thing about the variety of people that talk in this industry, is that there are so many people able to speak on these kinds of games, these concepts, and it comes out of nowhere and people can still enjoy them.
Yeah, I think I get where you're coming from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we still got a lot more news.
Jeez.
So, man, Niall's going to kill me.
This is his welcome home present. Hasn't he only been home for a week?
Yeah, he just moved back from Ireland and now...
To Ireland,
excuse me.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. We're glad that there's so much good conversation, but... So yeah, we already mentioned for a second that Halo Wars 2 was announced at Gamescom,
And yes,
being
that is by
made-
343 Industries. I'm sorry, I
Not-
get my Halos mixed up.
It's alright. It's being made by 343, but I think the primary developer is Ensemble Studios,
Really?
which
Huh.
interestingly enough, that's a Sega owned
That
company.
is.
So
Really?
What the hell
Sega and
happened
Microsoft
there?
are working together, basically.
Oh my god,
Yeah. Video games are interesting.
that's some glad handing right there, man. That was that's an elevator pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Super
Oh my
interesting.
god.
Um,
What? How?
Yeah, that's stuff happens. I mean, I'm glad that 343 went out and found someone who knows how to make RTSs, though, because I
Yes.
know
Oh,
that
yeah,
I
thank
know
God.
that not a lot of people liked Halo Wars.
It wasn't terrible, but it was very primitive.
Yeah. So, someone who knows how to make those kinds of games coming in with such a strong name, like that makes sense, and that's cool that they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone have any thoughts on that?
All
It's Halo
units.
Wars.
All units. All units. That's all I've got. That's all I saw from Gamescom was everyone talking about all units, and then talking about Halo Wars 2 coming out. I was like, oh, okay, sure. And I think what you were saying is very interesting. Having a good enough team to make it something more than a bare bones experience in RTS will be good, because that first one could easily be a mobile game at this point.
Definitely.
But it'll be interesting to see them take a second swing at that kind of offshoot.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice. I never played it, and doesn't really have me super interested or excited. But it's interesting that they would RTS was kind of unfashionable even when Halo Wars came out.
Yeah, it's true.
And now it's even more unfashionable. Now it's all about the MOBAs. So I think what they should do is they should make a Halo MOBA if they really
Don't
want.
give them the ideas. Shh.
No. You can't have a Halo MOBA. What's gonna happen is Microsoft is gonna take a look at Smash and they're gonna make Xbox All-Stars.
That's what they should
no.
do.
They're already. Let's go into this next
Master
bit of news.
Chief and
Let me go into
Who
this
else?
next bit of news because we can talk about that. I guess the closest thing to Xbox Smash Bros. Might end up being Killer Instinct.
Oh, that's
because
true.
Rash from Battletoads
Oh
was
my
confirmed
God.
to be in
oh my
this
god,
game.
Iron
Why?
Galaxy, you crazy motherfuckers, man.
Why?
Yeah, I woke up right as this was announced. I looked on my Twitter feed and I saw good old Alex Jabailey tweeting about I was like, Rash, is this some character from Killer Instinct I don't remember? And I clicked on this and I was like, wait, that Rash?
That's a Battletoad. I didn't okay, I would not be able to name you a Battletoad for sure.
I know too much about Battletoads. I like Battletoads.
You're a brave soul, John.
That requires some endurance.
Yeah, there's the three Battletoads. It's Rash, Pimple, and Zitz. Those are the Battletoads. Yeah, they have gross names.
From the gross era of teen video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right around the same time as the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
But they fight against the I think it's the Dark Sorceress or something, and that game is really hard. I would not see. I don't recommend playing it normally because it's so difficult, and I only like it from. I enjoy it from afar in a sense where I appreciate watching people who are really good at it. Like I'm a fan of I'm a fan of some Something Awful Let's Players like the Retsupre guys and Chip and Ironicus, and I watched the Let's Play of Battletoads that Diabetes did way back in the day when Let's Play was just starting up, and that's why I'm really interested in Battletoads. Was watching him be really good at that game and being able to beat it without getting hit at all, and stuff like that makes it interesting. And then Rare Replay came out and it lets you play that game and it lets you rewind. So if you die, you can just rewind. And
Whoa. So it's like Braid.
I mean, yeah, but it's not incorporated into the game mechanics per se.
Bradle toads. Okay, never
Ah.
mind. Keep going.
Cradle. Oh my god.
But no, it's just the way that it lets it be forgiving, so you can experience the game is super interesting. And they actually went back and fixed bugs from the original version of the game.
Whoa.
So yeah. Like, that's why I really dig Rare Replay, and why I'm happy that there's this, I guess, resurgence of Battletoads, because I like beat-em-ups, and I would love for a new Battletoads, just a new beat-em-up, like, a franchise of beat-em-ups to come back. Like, there was that Double Dragon Neon game, and that was
I was about
fun.
to say, the guys who made that Double Dragon Neon would be able to knock that out the park.
Exactly. Like, I would love a new Battletoads that would just be a beat-em-up game like that, but with all the other trimmings that the old one had, like the bike sequences, the platforming elements, like, just make it how it used to be. But, I mean, obviously tone down the difficulty, because that game was bullshit. There's no arguing, but that's really cool. And Rash looks really interesting in Battletoads. Or in Killer Instinct. I don't have any Killer Instinct. I don't have an Xbox One, so I haven't really played that game, but he seems really fun. They incorporated a lot of stuff from Battletoads into his mechanics. Like, he can eat projectiles with his tongue, and he gains meter from that. He can ride the bike. All that stuff. It's really neat that they did all that stuff for this character. And Killer Instinct is also saying that this is not the only guest character that will be in Season 3.
Oh,
so
God.
Maybe,
I just,
maybe Master Chief?
Like, Rare is... that's a video game company.
Yeah.
They're, like...
Put that at the front of their company, or at their building, or whatever.
That's a video game. This exasperated Aevee voice. I was just, like, talking with... We were watching, like, the Summer Games Done Quick.
Mm-hmm.
And we are kind of, like...
Oh, yeah, I was watching some of those.
Yeah, we were, like, thinking about... Banjo-Kazooie or something, and we were like, Rare games are, like... Okay. Or no, it was Donkey Kong, because they were doing all of the Donkey Kong games.
Oh, damn.
And you know what? Rare games are really strange. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're typically pretty bad. Yet they had this, just generally quite bad. And yet they had, they were somehow, so captivating. They managed to really get people despite that. So much know that Nintendo was giving them all this money, and then Microsoft bought them out like they were gonna give them somehow give them something, and I know that that didn't pan out for Microsoft at all. But now they have all of this IP, and so they're gonna be like, well, what are we gonna do? Let's, I guess, do some things with it. Let's just put a Battletoad in this Killer Instinct game.
Let's make Ukulele, which is, kind of a send-up to that old 3D platformer that we made. And I'm kind of glad that they're tackling that again. That's what I was talking about with...
Well, that's not Rare. That's a bunch of ex-Rare guys that left because of Microsoft's...
Right, which is I'm
can
sure
see
that nobody
there.
who actually worked at Rare is still at Microsoft's Rare.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can see that footprint still there. They're basically making what they used to in that 64 era, which is going to be interesting to see if it kind of kicks off another wave of 3D platforming, kind of like how we're seeing the 2D platformer again and again and again. So it'll be interesting to see if that kind of jumps off.
Yeah, I have some friends who would really love to see 3D platform collectathons make a return.
I mean, I would. I want them to bring Spyro back.
I would kill for a new good Spyro game.
Yeah, same. But, just for the information, Rash is currently available in Killer Instinct if you have spent money in Killer Instinct or if you own Rare Replay. But he won't be available anymore, I think, on September 28th. But he'll return as a character in March 2016 along with at least 2 more characters. We don't know what those characters are yet, but, they're doing this right now as a basically just a special treat for people who have Rare Replay, and he's a beta character right now, so nothing about him is final. But he seems done. I'm a little surprised that they're not just going to release him, but
they're still going to want to tweak how he translates because of like what the mechanics you were talking about. That could really go possibly sideways. But
I mean, Killer Instinct has some really wild mechanics. Like there's a character that can just create corners and walls.
Yeah, Aganos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that, like, I saw some gameplay of whoever, like, the girl from the Ring character is.
Yeah.
Hizuko.
Yeah. She seems very, very interesting, but her, like, entire concept only makes sense within Killer Instinct's system, which I don't understand very well. Like, because I'm a, like, more of an anime fighting girl, but,
Yeah.
Your dust loops and your air dodges.
Yeah, I understand what that is. I like, actually, just this morning I was talking about this.
And our instant air dashes.
Our instant air dashes, I'm bad at them, but I know
I'm
it's
bad
happening.
at them too.
I just this morning, there's this character called Jacko, confirmed for Guilty Gear. And like, she's so weird. Like, I don't even know how to begin to think about how she's actually supposed to be played.
It's
because
so
she's
weird. Yeah, I saw you.
Did you
tweeting
see
about
like
that?
She's such a, like, okay, so she has like a kind of standard fighting game moveset, except like all of her uppercuts and projectiles all are with one button and all cost meter, which normally is not the case in Guilty Gear. So that's already like a little strange, but like,
how's her meter gain?
So her meter gain is like normal, but she sets down these pumpkins that continuously turn the game into like a tower defense thing. Like, they continuously spawn enemies that will attack her opponent. And she can set 3 of them down, and there's like a mage one that flies, ones with wing that fly at kind of like a medium height, like a knee level, and ones that like walk along the ground, and they will advance towards the enemy and attack them and put them into pressure. And they can like they just like
Do they function while you're in pressure?
Yeah, they function like, so they will like just do that while you don't do anything at all.
I mean, what if you're blocking?
So they disappear if she gets hit, and there's like some other like weird circumstances, but she can basically like, she even has like an ability that lets her negate all projectiles for a limited time. So she can like just set that up and have that happen to an opponent, and they have to like get out of that. And
I just
like,
if you have a pumpkin
wild.
minion coming up,
They like the pumpkins like level up like over time. Like, it really is like it's a tower defense game. Like, it's borrowing very similar mechanics. And you're like just supposed to like alternate between playing that and a fighting game, I guess.
That's interesting.
Which is like, I like that sort of wild conceptual thing.
Do you know if the pumpkin creatures can get you out of pressure?
They can't get you out of pressure, but like the thing is like the destroying the generator itself is like requires you to hit it like a whole bunch of times. So,
is it like Ken's dog in Ultimax?
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of like, it's like most puppet characters where like if you get hit, all of the minions disappear, but not the generators. So if the opponent like got you and started like doing damage to you, then none of them would show up. But if you started blocking like for long enough, I suppose the creatures would like reach the opponent from the other side of the screen. Which,
but you'd
like
have to have
really
good blocking.
delayed cross up kind of.
Right, yeah, you'd have like a really delayed cross up, but then they'd eventually have to like deal with them.
Well, if
I don't know, she sounds fascinating to me. I like the idea of a character that like, I've never seen a character just so like go beyond like what some of the other bizarre like there's like a lot of characters that control two characters at once, and those are already really weird and already do some really bizarre stuff. This is like a whole another level to it.
Oh wow, she's really cute.
Yeah, she's really cool too. Like she has.
Oh, I love her mask.
Yeah.
Oh shit, she has the mask.
Yeah, she has like a Jason mask, and like walks around on top of this ball and chain, and she's probably like full of Michael Jackson references because it's Guilty Gear, and her name is Jaka.
Oh my god, when she goes backwards, she walks backwards on the ball.
Yeah, it's like she's wild. Anyways.
Oh wow, I like this character.
Speaking of fighting game characters, especially ones with masks, also at Gamescom, there was a reveal for a Street Fighter character, and it's good old Vega, Mask and Claw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they really changed how he looks.
Yeah,
I stab, I fight, I stab, I fight.
he wears he's got a shirt now.
Yeah,
right? It looks good on him.
The thirst
I love
is
how
gone.
they made him look all Spanish.
Have you guys ever seen the Pete Holmes show, Street Fighter thing?
I have not.
I need to show you that sometime because it is a great send-up to kind of the weirdness of Street Fighter characters. And it handles Vega really well. Like, it kind of calls out the fact that he has a claw and a mask, and everyone else is fighting with their hands and fists. Like, that's not fair. You're going to stab people to death, and they're not going to be able to punch you in the face.
That's
Anyway.
that guy from Community plays Guile, right?
Yeah, Joel McHale.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just says America the whole time. His wasn't that good. Thomas Middleditch, the guy who's heading Silicon Valley, the main character of that, he did Ken and he did Vega, and he nailed both of them. He's great at those skits.
Okay.
That's so funny.
Yeah, for the to just talk about what they changed with him. Yeah, they gave him a shirt, and now you can sheath and unsheath his claw. And that completely changes his options. Like, if his claw is sheathed, he has a command grab.
Yeah, he sounds very different.
He's very different. And his V skill is a Matador turn, which will let you, counter. So you can do that as someone's trying to attack you and then immediately follow up with an attack, or you can back off. And his V trigger is he tosses a rose a la maybe like Dudley, except instead of just doing damage, he can teleport to where the rose is, and if it hits your opponent, it will hit them with multiple slashes.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like he has a projectile, but with that V trigger move, which is really different for Vega. All of his moves now seem to be non-charge motions, I heard as well.
Yeah, now all of his moves are circle motions, like a Ryu character would have. So
yeah,
it doesn't sound like there's a lot of charges in this game. Like, I know Nash doesn't have any charges. I don't think Bison has the Psycho Crusher at all.
Yeah,
You can't.
Yeah,
sad.
The changes to Bison, I'm not sure, are like a little strange. Vega is like makes more sense. I think Chun-Li weirdly still has like you have to charge her Kikuken,
okay,
which I think is a little silly. I'm not like super anti-charge motion, but like
I kind of am, even though I play as Bison.
I can't charge.
I have some friends who play as Mitsuru and Ultimax. It can get pretty annoying.
Anyone who knows how to do the charges with Mitsuru, I don't like fighting. It's not fun.
She is, Church is strong.
Yeah, one of my training partners is pretty good, and they stuck me in pressure. I mained Labris. They stuck me in pressure for half my health.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she can burn you when her axe goes red. Yeah, when her axe goes red and she drops her super.
No.
Labris?
My friend played Mitsuru. Chipped my Labris for half of Labris's health by using pressure resets.
Okay, I see. I thought she was playing Labris and was putting it on you.
No. I main Labris. My main is Labris.
Oh, wow. You got to teach me how to do that sometime. I don't get her at all.
I play as Teddy because he's silly.
Focus on the basics.
Man, Teddy, come on.
Teddy. Yeah, with Labris, you just focus on the basics.
I saw some wonderful stuff.
She's a really basic character.
With the EVA finals for Persona 4 had quite a
All of
few
us were so
teddies.
good.
They're-
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of Teddy. There was the 3 great Teddies, right?
yeah, because Teddy has a lot of strong options.
Yeah, with all the like status afflictions and all that.
Yeah, Teddy's.
Yeah. Well,
his items.
his items.
His items.
Or,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
the
because
real
I tried to play as
terror.
Faust in Guilty Gear too, so I know those items are useful.
Yeah, well, like, so Teddies, unlike Faust, are not random.
They're in order. Yeah.
They're in order. There's a list. So, like, he is actually a lot more predictable than Faust is. Although, like,
Okay.
Faust, like, where, like, Faust's randomness is often in his favor. There was a really good Faust at Evo as well.
I did watch that. Yeah, I was cheering for him because
he
I
was
was like,
so
my
funny.
character.
Faust is
I
so
was really
fun to
surprised
watch.
that Ken won that Evo. I was like, what?
Oh, the Ken one Evo? Yeah.
that Ken won Evo.
Yeah. Because, like, because
He's
Ken
the
was a lot
strongest in the
stronger
universe.
than I thought, than I was expecting. And the Shadow Labrys is...
Oh yeah, I was hoping I would see a Labrys in top 8, and I didn't, and I was sad.
Oh, I feel like I saw Labrys at one point. It was probably not top 8.
There was like one Labrys that placed top 16, I think.
Yeah, I think I might have seen one.
All right, so next bit of news here, another Gamescom announcement was about Mafia 3.
Yeah.
Now, this game is taking a very interesting turn for the franchise, and I'm really happy that they're doing this. Instead of the main characters being the Italian mob, you play as it's set in the Civil Rights era South, and you play as a black Vietnam veteran.
Oh, whoa.
His name's
Whoa.
Lincoln Clay, and you are fighting the Italian mob instead of being them.
And what they do for the gameplay is you and your crew, which is like all over the place. There's an Irish guy, there's a woman in your crew, and I forget the fourth person. I think he might actually be Italian. But your crew is taking over sections of the town from the Italian mafia and basically running it. So the whole crux of it is taking segments of towns, like say a speakeasy or something. Well, not a speakeasy. I think booze was illegal by the 60s. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
They repealed it back in 38, 33.
Yeah, but booze was legal. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you're taking over mob fronts for your purposes. So it's kind of like Assassin's Creed kind of does this, right? To where you're taking over like storefronts and stuff.
I mean, a lot of open world games do that. Like I've been playing Infamous Second Son recently, and like I want to say 70% of that game is just going to different areas of the city and defeating the people who have taken over that segment. And yeah, like a lot, like I remember you did that in Saints Row 4, but instead of, fighting people most of the time, it was buying places just so you can run money back through. This seems more like, you have to fight people off, or maybe maybe there will be, talking to people more like, hey, I'll protect you and you don't have to worry about the mob. You pay me instead. Stuff like
what
that.
it looked like is not only are you taking it from them, but I think they said you were assigning your crewmates to kind of run it.
Okay.
So I think you are kind of actually taking it over, and you're not just letting it sit and accrue money or something.
Okay.
Like I think your crew actually goes in and does stuff with. This is all off of a couple of articles from the demo, so we'll see how it actually ends up coming out. Mm-hmm. But I really hope that they kind of use that mechanic really well, because it could get very monotonous very quickly.
Yeah, that would have to be something that you have to be careful with, because having to continuously check in over and over with stuff might get annoying. But if it's really fun to do, then it won't. If it's fun to keep track of your storefronts, that would be cool.
I think what's going to really push this game is that story mechanic, is the perspective that they're giving, the time, the setting, the place, and your character is just a good combination of like hotbed of issues. And when we posted that article, a friend of mine, he posted it on his Facebook, and all of his friends were talking about this is the greatest, like having a black character represented in this series is great. And I'm all for this. So that's what I think is going to really draw people in, and I hope that they can kind of keep people going through the whole story.
Yeah. So I think. All right, the next bit of news, because I'm trying to save the bummers for last, I suppose.
Yay!
Yay! The next bit of news, I don't know. This is kind of a bummer. The time cover debacle. I guess we can talk about really quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Time Magazine is going to be running in a couple weeks. They're going to be running an article about VR, specifically the Oculus and Palmer Luckey. And from what people have read and what the cover of the issue is showing, they are grossly misrepresenting what the Oculus is. This cover is, well, it's a picture of Palmer Luckey jumping barefoot on a fake beach while wearing the Oculus, and it looks real bad, and I gotta
It's
read
impressive.
It's on the same level as Planet Hillary back in the day. Do you guys remember that one?
I don't.
They,
No.
I think it was when Hillary first announced that she was running for president, and they did this cover of Hillary Clinton's face wrapped around a sphere to look like Planet Hillary. It was great. It was great.
What?
I sat there. I bought a copy off of the magazine stand and just laughed at it all the way home.
Oh my
It
god.
was great.
Yeah, like to quote the headline on a Giant Bomb that Jeff Gershman wrote. Time unloads full clip into VR's chances for mainstream acceptance. Like I think that just sums it up. Like
It kind of
I
did
mean-
things in.
I mean, like, I feel like this was already the prevailing narrative around VR, right? Like, it was always, like, pictures of people looking so awkward wearing a VR.
Will Smith just being gay, like open mouth, just going nuts on that
yeah,
thing.
there were all those white guys using VR blogs or whatever, where it was just a bunch of dorky looking dudes just being like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, because that's what you look like. Although I just can't, like, the really badly photoshopped beach, the way that he's just kind of like floating in air.
Yeah.
Like he's like I'm in a virtual reality world, like, but I'm floating in the beach. What is happening?
It makes no sense.
Everything about
But-
that is just so like
It is a
they
bit
didn't
of
give
a
a
bummer, though.
shit.
It is a bit of a bummer because, I mean, VR right now it's very much a Silicon Valley concept in that it's a neat idea, but it's not essential to the, I guess, to the general populace. And because of that, it's expensive. It's something for the affluent.
It's
And-
peripheral.
Yeah, and it's I very much understand why people don't want to jump on that, but actually using it is still really neat. Like I've played some very interesting demos on Oculus. The one that I played that I really enjoyed, I played it at E3 2 years ago, was, I don't remember the name of the game. I apologize for it, but it was a game where you didn't play it with the Oculus strapped to your face. You had to be able to remove and put the Oculus back on, because you would look at your TV screen or your computer monitor, and it would be the room that you're in currently, and then you put the Oculus on, and it takes you into the past. And
What?
you travel back and forth between the past and present to solve a murder mystery.
Huh.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
And it's stuff like that that makes me interested in the Oculus. It's not the stuff that's like, oh, just you're going to have a better camera angle in this third-person action
Yeah.
platformer. Or, like, I mean, the first-person shooter stuff sounds neat right now, but, you know, in a couple years when everyone's done that, I'm going to be done with that. Because it's like, okay, I've played Doom and Oculus, let's do something else. But yeah, stuff that you would definitely not be able to do without the Oculus is what I'm interested in playing. And other than that one murder mystery game, I haven't really seen too much stuff like that.
There was one other game that I saw the McElroy brothers play. They did it for like a YouTube thing, and you were a spy, and you had to get out of a car that was in the back of an airplane, and you had to go through the different steps of starting the car, avoiding all the traps in the car, and then hitting the gas pedal. And that was really interesting because it used the VR to use your head to move, to avoid a laser shooting you. It was very visceral, and it was, I think, a very good use of that technology. So I think there is that kind of stuff out there, and the one that you talked about sounds really interesting. But I think what happened with this timepiece is it kind of cut it off from the casual and the core people, the people who aren't constantly absorbing game news and seeing Oculus and all the different names being dropped constantly.
I mean, they were just kind of mean to Palmer, though. Like, the way that they described him, they were just like, I mean, like, they weren't necessarily mean, but just the way that they were talking was just very belittling to people in the industry. They were just like, Palmer's not like other nerds. He can actually hold a conversation. It's like, please calm down just a little bit. Like, there's a lot of shitty nerds out there, but still, like, whew, relax just a smidge.
I mean, this is coming from Time Magazine. It would be kind of the same as, like, the New Yorker or the Wall Street Journal trying to jump into talking about this form of games and talking about that culture. That's kind of what people see from the outside, I guess, because of how it's become a hobby and how ingrained it's become to a certain, I guess, culture and kind of identity for people. Like,
yeah, it's like, I don't know, those things, you like expect magazines like Time and whatever to be representative of the culture, rather than like, so if you want to know, like, what does the culture think about this thing? Well, it's going to be kind of like cliche and ignorant and backwards and really awkward. No matter what it's about. Since I've been like, whether it's like games or like trans rights, as it sometimes ends up being, like, if you're like, if you want to see like the awkward regressive steps, maybe more like stumbling towards understanding, that's where to look for it. It's interesting that, like, I mean, like, VR has been like a big like dream for a while, and it does seem like it's getting more serious. Like, there's an actual possibility for it in the future. Like, certainly I've seen a lot of like ideas, yet I have yet to like be at a point where I'm like, I really want that to happen, that I'm feeling like I would want to actually, like, I have no like real and desire impression. When people like put an Oculus on me and it's got like an interesting thing in it, I'm usually like, that's chill.
I've never worn one.
I got one on my face for several minutes at GDC, and there are these people making this game called I went to like one of their really generic demos, but there was also like in the IGF there was the game called Sound Self, which is kind of like more of a meditative experience where you like kind of like hum, like you make a physical noise, and like the VR, it's like, it feels like a sensory deprivation chamber or something like it. It was really intense. It was pretty cool. I'm glad that stuff is like becoming, I mean, like with things like the Oculus, like what's often most interesting to me is that it's this technology that's getting accessible enough that like you can give it to somebody with like a cool, weird idea and they can like do it, rather than like having there being so much money invested in it that there's no way that anyone except for like a huge AAA team would be able to like make a thing on it,
A lot of single person teams and like really small teams have been able to get their hands on developer kits and the later instances of it, and are able to make really simple projects, or even, like translate something that's already been out to the Oculus. And that's absolutely what they need. We need enough people experimenting with it while it is still nascent to get people interested in it, and then get bigger things coming out of it and get more ambitious ideas coming out of it. We need experimentation with this, and we need people to kind of look at it positively and dip their toe in.
Totally.
That sounds fair. I guess wait and see.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
that's all you can say about it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
really. Time will tell.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you kind of, like, you have to giggle and grumble through stuff like this. That's what I've learned. And,
it's like an old relative kind of translating something about you terribly wrong.
I mean, it fucking, like, literally is. Like, this is like your dad just found out what VR was. Like, when Time Magazine gets a hold of it, it's like, these are your baby boomer parents finally, like, understanding what's all this gender that you kids have been talking about. Oh, that's okay. I was like, all right, it's okay, Mom. Thanks for trying.
It's the pat on the head and say, that's so sweet, honey, and then just kind of, like, putting it over their head. It's going way over their head.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of assuming that it is some baby boomer that wrote this. It probably is, or it's someone who is of that mindset because they ended up at time
reading it. You know, it's like,
oh yes, that is the audience. Yes,
it's freaking baby boomers,
right?
Fan.
My mom and dad are like 2 rooms across, so I probably shouldn't talk too much bad about that generation.
I'm glad that I'm just living with Cosmano because I can just yell, "Hey, baby boomers stink!" and then Michael just be like,
"Oh my god!"
Michael just be like, "Yeah, sure, but where'd that come from?" Alright, so we only got 3 more bits of news, so let's get this and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
So Mighty Number 9 got delayed.
Yep.
This was
again.
Was it again? I could have sworn that it was.
It's not the first delay, right?
I think
sure it is.
I think they kind of put a liquid date closer this year, and then they were dead on the September date. They were like, "This is when it's happening." You know, we've kind of wrapped everything up. And then that press release came out on that NeoGAF thread, and it said that they were pushing it to Q1 2016. And
it wasn't a press release. They posted it on the backer forums, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna tell the backers first. Just to let you know, we're gonna announce this at Gamescom that we're delaying the game until Q1 2016. There's a bunch of bugs, so
they probably had a really nasty regression bug. These kinds of things happen.
It's a shame. I mean, I hope that they can finish it because I'd rather them fix it and the game be good than it come out and be bad. But
there's a lot riding on this game because of how it was made, because it is kind of the nom de guerre of Kickstarter games right now.
Yeah,
like a lot of people are looking to this to do something big and good and come out, so they need to do this as right as possible.
And also about like how people have lost so much faith in concept over the past month. After
the Red Ash thing, after tying up to Fuse, and
I was there when they announced Red Ash. I was at Anime Expo. I was in that room, and about halfway through that presentation, once they started talking about the anime and how the Kickstarter was going, I was like, you know what, I'm good. And I left, and I went to go listen to the Danganronpa writer talk, and I had a better experience.
You found your bliss. You totally found a good place to be.
Yeah, I was just sitting there. I was just sitting there listening to this guy talking about how he made his characters, and I was just like, yeah, that is how you do that. Oh, thank you. It was so nice.
That sounds so cool. I know, like, I missed him talking at GDC. I really want to see the Vault record because it sounds really cool.
It was a short version of his GDC talk from what I can
tell. Okay, so, cool. Yeah. I really want to.
I thought that was neat that he did that for. I mean, not like the general public because you
right.
Should pay to get into there, but just for his fans because, man, some people were like. I think like there was some person who asked like the specific like question about Komeda, and I was like, you want to ask if Hajime would date Komeda, don't you? Don't you?
Nice. Good. Keep the dream alive. No, but like, yeah, I actually like. So I've been thinking about this for a while because, like. There's like a bigger kind of like story, like you guys were just saying, like, the these Japanese kind of like known auteur creators who were like kind of like got to make really cool games back in the day, but haven't really been able to for a while. Like I think of Itagaki, the Ninja Gaiden person who made all those 3D ones, and the Kamiya, who made who's now made his own company at Platinum, and he's doing quite well. But they were like, it feels like this at this particular point in time, I'm seeing a lot of like people who are really known getting kind of like pushed out of their own industry and having to find like other places to go. And Camille like founded like Platinum Games after getting kind of like sick and tired of not being able to do anything at Capcom. And Capcom not letting him do like stuff. Like, I mean, like they gave him Clover for a while, and so he was able to make things like some really, really cool stuff while that was happening. And I feel like he's actually doing better than ever, which I think is great because he's making really wonderful stuff.
Wonderful and beautiful games.
Yeah, he's made a wonderful 101 of games, if you will. And
the jokes.
The jokes keep flowing when B is on your podcast. But then I have like now we have like the Igavania doing a Kickstarter as well, and I can definitely see like what the attraction is, and how they haven't necessarily been like valued very much by their companies, and they're looking for someone who will actually let them make the games that they want to make, and yet they're doing so in really different circumstances, with incredibly different expectations, with audiences that are like literally investing in their product and have like a way different relationship with it. And if Mighty Number 9 turns out to be like a bust or something like that, and if like Bloodstained or whatever falls through, it's gonna really affect how this stuff goes.
Yeah. Well, I think Bloodstained is
in general.
Yeah, even Kickstarters in general, like that's a thing that people have been like long thinking about, like what's gonna like fuck this up forever, you know, what's gonna cause the big.
I mean, people were so worried about Broken Age and how that happened, and you know that I wouldn't say that fell through, but that definitely missed people's expectations. Mm-hmm. Where they asked for the money they asked for, it went over it, and then you know, I for that specific game, I can kind of understand why people would be wary about that, but that's also why these other games are like Bloodstained and Yooka-Laylee and all these other games are saying like, hey, we're asking for this money, but we're also having a publisher. So that way, this game will come out. We won't have to fragment it. We won't have a Broken Age kind of deal going on. And I can understand why people would be wary about that, but also it makes more sense business wise.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, yeah. I feel, especially like, oh gosh, like. Guys, how soon do you think Hideo Kojima's Kickstarter is going to happen? Like,
well, we should just talk about the Konami stuff right now.
Yeah, let's jump into that, and then I've been thinking about this a little bit of where he's going to go from here. We have no idea, but he's got to start thinking stuff soon.
A Kickstarter.
Yeah, let's talk about what's going down with Konami. Excuse me. So there was an article by. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. The Nikkei. They are like from what I've read, they are very similar to the like Wall Street Journal of Japan, I suppose. They broke the story about Konami's work environment and
God.
it's it's unbelievable. This was translated by the game localizer Thomas Jones. He's also known as Pepsi Man GB. If you're a Giant Bomb fan,
I think his name is Thomas James.
Thomas James, excuse me.
Yeah.
I misread that. But he translated this and said that Konami has sunk $80 million into the development of Phantom Pain as of April.
Christ on high, man. That's insane.
I knew,
Like not just
I saw that coming so far away. But yeah.
not just that, but the internal culture of Konami has been described as poisonous. I'm reading this from the article that Ryan posted on the site. According to the article, Konami had enforced a number of authoritarian policies over its employees. For example, you would have to use a time card to take a lunch break, and if you went over your time, you were outed within the company and berated publicly. Employees that they deemed useless were assigned lower-end jobs like security detail and cleanup at fitness clubs. And this happened to prominent producers, and like people are thinking, or this is being. I think some people dug up some interviews where I think Iga made references to this happening to him.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So another incident that was in this article said that a bunch of employees were reassigned and demoted because they liked a Facebook post from someone who left Konami to get a different job.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Kojima has left, Iga left, the Love Plus creator Akari Uchida left. So Konami's bleeding famous people, and it makes a lot of sense why they would do that, because it sounds like a madhouse there. It sounds really terrible.
Yeah.
It's kind of rooted in, and I think Thomas James referenced this, it's rooted in the fact that you cannot fire a person for the reasons that they were moving these people around. So this is kind of a terrible little workaround that they figured out to kind of get people out of the way. Mm-hmm. And it's based in that kind of culture, and it's based in Japanese companies not being able to just throw you out on your ass for various reasons. And hearing this is just insane, because that is like sending them to limbo.
Yeah. It sounds...
Why don't they just all start their own company at that point?
Well, because Japanese indie is still kind of like...
Yeah.
It's still burgeoning. It's still a very hard business.
Racketeer did well.
I mean, like...
Yeah, it did.
There's like... I mean, there's some, but it's like not... It's not aligned towards it. Not like it is here, and it doesn't get the same support.
Well, probably... Like, PCs aren't as big of a thing over there, right?
No.
PC gaming.
It's all consoles and handheld.
Yeah,
mainly
that probably has a
handheld.
lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like this might be a little outdated, but like I've watched a lot of Game Center CX. A lot.
Yep, same here.
So it was interesting because when they made the Game Center CX game, they brought in an indie developer to work on it, but it was still like almost a subsidy of Bandai. So I feel like even indie developers over there are still regulated by bigger companies because they kind of need that to thrive.
I don't know. There's some freer indies.
Yeah,
right?
there's some, but
there's Carpe Folger and...
It is not viable, though, for most people to go out on their own and make their own games in Japan.
I mean, yeah, but if you're...
I mean, like...
If you're Kojima...
Well,
that's... Do money.
I mean,
like
Kojima
could start his own thing. Like, I'm sure that Kojima will... If Kojima wants to start his own company and just basically do, like, what Kamiya did,
right,
he could do that.
I mean, like, Kamiya is, like, the exception that kind of, like, proves the rule, you know? Like... how did he manage to like do it? Well, he had to like he started his own company. He does tons of contract work, you know. He's like Platinum Games is doing what like a lot of there's like so many invisible studios, you know, that you've never heard of, but like make those like third tier games. Spin-offs and stuff, and like Platinum is basically like billing itself as like the super good version of one of those, like, you know, like Gearbox does, Except
Yeah.
what they do is like they get a lot of money to work on something and then they put it on Borderlands, which is very cunning of them and I respect it. But like
They did the PC port, didn't they, for Halo?
I bet they did. But yeah, like that
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And I'm sure that Platinum may be working on things that we don't even know about, including.
Well, I was thinking Gearbox did the Halo PC port.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's what I meant. I just meant
Their
that
first
they-
work was also the half. Oh, I'm sorry. It was
Yeah, they
wasn't
did
their
the
first thing the
Half-Life.
Half-Life Blue Shift? Was it Blue Shift?
Yeah, I think it was Opposing Force, actually.
Okay, yes, it was Opposing Force.
Although I think
there
they
you
did make both of those.
Yeah, whichever of those two came first. I was like 10 when those came out, so it's over my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I can see there's no way that Kojima wouldn't land on his own feet. God, I could think of like Western devs that would want to be like, let's grab Kojima to work on this thing. And I can see him wanting to do that for sure. Because he's Kojima.
Especially because, like, I know he's still in talks with, like, Del Toro. Like, they still want to do something together.
I think he still wants to make, like, a Silent Hill-styled horror game.
Oh,
Yeah.
he should.
They will make something eventually, especially because, like, I know Del Toro has wanted to make a horror game for ages. Like, he was supposed to be doing that Insane game with THQ, and then that fell under. So, like, I think both of those guys want to do something like that, and they'll do it. Like, I remember, like, Kojima will do something with Del Toro, because I know that Kojima was talking with Suda51 about doing, like, a Snatcher thing for years before they finally did Snatcher, or however you pronounce that.
Yeah, that's right.
Snatcher. And that was like a radio play. That wasn't even a game. So I'm sure Kojima and Del Toro will do something. We don't know exactly what it is. Maybe Kojima might start making movies. Who knows?
That's what
I'm
I was thinking is
still-
possible. I'm thinking
still
he may get out of
mad.
games.
I'm still mad about Silent Hills.
Oh, that was so promising. PT
I
set
wanted
things so well.
I know. I wanted to play that so bad, and then they had like the some of the teaser trailers with like the ball bouncing down. Oh god, that was so good.
That was gearing up to be something fantastic. And you hear it from Kojima and Del Toro. They said we were running some great ideas on that, and then it just got trounced. Like, it's just got done for. I hope that he kind of calls up people like Del Toro, but I'm going to put my money on him doing his own thing, because that's what he's used to. He's used to being the auteur. He's used to being the big head of a big project. He will not be able to make anything Metal Gear Solid size, possibly, but he will definitely try to channel everything that he's known for and make something adjacent to it, basically.
I think Konami gave that up for fucking pachinko machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, and are they the health club people too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll get their money that way, I guess. So,
But
It was about money.
people that say that Kojima wants to make people that say that Kojima will do a Kickstarter are probably right. The people that say that he's going to do a Kickstarter for a Metal Gear-esque game are
Oh god, no.
completely wrong.
No.
He doesn't want to do that anymore.
I think at most he will try to tackle like Zone of the Enders.
Yeah, he's going to
or
do
something
he's
smaller.
going to do a
he's
Zone
done.
of the Enders. Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
I wouldn't
That's
mind
what I
doing
want.
Zone of the Enders game.
Yeah, those
I
were
love
great.
Zone of the Enders.
I would
Those were great.
that.
Also,
I love like the mobile game, like the Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah, the Sunlight one,
Boktai.
Yeah.
Buktai. Yeah,
No,
That
I
was
was
great.
actually thinking of the Game Boy Advance Zone of the Enders game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the tactics game.
Yeah.
But here's an interesting tidbit though about this that came out of this report. Nintendo is going to be making a game with a Konami license. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but it's a pretty obscure, like, Japanese focused game from Konami. But what I'm crossing my fingers for, here's John Machonsky's big hope for everybody. Here we go. I'm hoping that if Konami's working with Nintendo, that Nintendo picks up the licensing or whatever to Bomberman, and Bomberman's in Smash
That would be
Bros. That's
sick.
what I'm hoping for.
Why Bomberman? Why not a new Bomberman game?
No, I
That's
want
what I'm
Bomberman-
saying.
Listen, I want a new Bomberman game, but they need to put Bomberman in Smash Bros. too.
They could do
Please.
both. They
Yes,
could
both,
they
yes.
could announce that Bomberman game
He'd
and
be
then say,
so
"Hey, by the
overpowered,
way."
though. If
well-
they just give him a free bomb spawn.
Well, I think
Bomb.
like if we have to theorize about how they would make his bombs, I mean, his moves would all be the throwing, kicking them, and like picking them back up. It'd be a lot like what they did with Link's bombs, kind of.
I don't think it's going to be something like him continuously spawning bombs all over the place. I think it'll be something kind of similar to Olimar, and that
I was
maybe
thinking it would be
he'll
like
just throw
Link's bombs. I had in my head like the powerful item bombs, not Link's bombs.
Yeah, it's not going to be
no.
anything too powerful, I don't think. Like a Final Smash where he gets all the upgrades or whatever.
I think his final smash should be that he gets up on the platform, like when you die in the original Bomberman games, and then he can just chuck him from there, kind of like the Solid Snake final smash. There you go.
Yeah,
They've already got it.
Nice.
Hey, you're welcome, Sakurai.
We did it.
Invoice included.
They're never going to make another Smash.
No, they won't.
They don't need to make another Smash.
Well,
they
they
can just
might.
keep
If
doing
they make another
DLC.
Smash,
Keep that DLC going. Put Bomberman in his DLC. Come on.
Make a
if they make
Bomberman
another Smash,
amiibo.
Sakurai won't be on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oof,
that's
that'll never happen.
they're gonna do.
No,
another
they're going to
Smash
make it
Bros.
eventually. There's too much money in it.
They will do it, but like Sakurai said, he wrote something for Famitsu where he talked about like it was a eulogy thing for Iwata, I think, and he mentioned how he only kept making Smash Bros games because Iwata kept asking him. So there's not going to be another Smash Bros with him on it now that Iwata passed.
That's sad. But, it's interesting that Iwata had that kind of influence on him. He kind of pushed him into...
I mean, they
keeping
worked
at it.
together.
Yeah.
They were in the trenches at HAL,
Yeah,
so.
he was back in the Kirby days and the... he was on a lot of the Kirby games, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Iwata was on
that
the
was
first
his
couple of
thing.
Kirby games, yeah.
Man, God bless him, because those were some of the first games I played and loved,
I still love Croc.
What?
What?
Croc was one of the first games I played.
Are
on the
you
console.
okay?
I'm fine.
Are you
Croc was-
cooking? Do you love your crock pot? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I don't know what crock is.
John knows.
Devin,
Yeah,
run away. Run far away.
I'm already in my car. Don't worry.
It was a third-person platformer with tank controls.
Tank controls!
Oh. Oh.
Alright,
I love that game. It was one of the
Okay.
first games I played.
Let's
To
do
be
this
fair-
last bit of news, though.
Yeah,
Let's do this
yeah,
last
yeah.
bit of news. Mention Amiibos. This is the biggest bummer of the episode. We're going to talk about Amiibos again.
Naturally.
Oh,
they are
no.
they're
Here we
instant
go.
sadness for me. And I don't even own any.
I
When's the
own too
Splatoon
many.
amiibo?
I have the Inkling Girl Amiibo. The Splatoon
Okay.
Amiibos are really good.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh,
kind
can
of
you
cool.
still get those?
No. No.
John, will you sell me your amiibo? Please, it's the only amiibo I want.
I like Amiibos a lot, Lauren.
And I like Inklings.
All right. Well, how about if you can try to get your hands on some of these Amiibos, maybe we can work out a trade because
Okay.
on September 11th, the next wave of Amiibos is going to release.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And
All right.
Do they realize what they're doing here? I mean...
they do, because they're doing the same thing. I think Mario Maker's coming out at the same time, right?
Mario Maker's coming out on the same day. So,
Yeah.
Oh my god, no.
To collaborate with that, they are releasing the Super Mario Bros. 30th Anniversary Mario Amiibo
Yeah.
to work with Mario Maker.
Okay.
I don't know what it does.
How many...
Why?
Okay. Here's the thing. When that
Yes.
releases, how many Mario Maker levels do you think will be recreating 9/11?
All of them. Every last
Every
one.
single one, right? Like,
Mario's fireballs can't melt steel beams.
I'm
It's
just
official.
I'm just going to say too many and leave it at that.
Yeah, no. No, here's the thing. Talking about this, they realize that date is kind of a touchy subject here. So everything that they've released so far, they've said, hey, on the 11th day of of September, they are really wording around 9/11,
Yeah,
September
like
11.
I'm looking on this. This is available on the 11th of September, 2015. Yeah, they're
Yes.
trying not to.
Why not just do it on the 12th of September? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a popular day for
I
market
mean, it might be just
stuff.
be like one of those like standard release days, like a Tuesday or something. Or
I think
Yeah,
it
let me
falls
see.
on a
Oh,
Tuesday.
Okay, just September.
No,
18th.
It's a Friday.
there's-
Or
Yeah.
it's a Friday. Yeah, it must.
Isn't
It probably has some sort of market significance or whatever. Just like the real.
But who boy.
Probably.
But yeah, so the rest of the amiibos that are being released on that day are Zero Samus, Olimar, Bowser Jr., Dr. Mario, and Ganondorf. And on the 25th of September, there will be a retro 3-pack, which includes Duck Hunt, Rob, and Mr. Game & Watch. I pretty much want all of those, so I'm screwed. I'm gonna be spending
Have fun
1,
with
2,
that.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like $100 goddamn bucks on amiibos in 1 month, and I'm kind of
God.
scared. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just I definitely want to get the 3-pack because I play as Duck Hunt in Smash 4, so I want to get my main. But I also play as like most of these other characters casually. So
Okay, the Inkling Girl amiibo is going for $30 on Amazon.
that's a lot of money.
Holy shit! I'm so glad that I.
But if
got
it's
it
the
when
only
I
one-
did.
Lauren, if it's the only one you're buying, I say go for it at 30. Because like, if you're not buying any other amiibos anytime soon,
I'm not.
just drop it. You know, like it's the one thing you're
It's
gonna
only
keep
gonna
on
go
your
up.
pedestal.
It's-
Yeah, it's gonna get more and more rare. So I'd say just go for it. I'm never gonna buy an amiibo, ever. So
I'm only doing it because I like the Inklings. Like,
right,
I don't even play Splatoon. I just love Splatoon as an idea.
A lot
It's-
of people
it's-
do, yeah.
It's
Splatoon is something that just
Good. It's real good. They nailed it with that one, and it's cute. It's really cute.
I saw. It's so cute. I saw one of the Inklings in a suit. I was like, oh my god, Inkling Girl in a suit. I need this.
Aevee, did you say that you have any amiibos?
I got the Inkling one. I ordered it from. There was like a half an hour, literally a half an hour, when you could order it from Amazon. Oh, it was during a random time within the half an hour. But I happened to.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was okay. It was completely crazy, and there were also like there were also like a whole shelf of them at my local Target when I went there, like the day after. But because that happened, and because I saw it happened, and I was like, I really do want one. I did the crazy thing, and I got one. And I also have a Lucina from this is not a joke. I have a friend who works at Nintendo. Because like Nintendo's like right up in Seattle, so I actually have like a lot of friends who work at Nintendo.
Okay.
And like, but like in like QA and customer support type stuff, and like they have mysterious ways. And I got a Lucina one because she's my beautiful daughter.
Nice.
I've seen some people that I follow on Twitter that work at Nintendo post that they're like, oh, I went to the secret employees only store and bought all these plushies and these amiibo that nobody else can ever buy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, thanks.
They have special powers. So like yeah. So I thank you very much to the person who got me that so that I can have a Lucina when Fire Emblem Fates comes out in 10,000 years. I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna say something fucked up, and this is going. I think this is going to color your impression of me.
Oh no!
I have 15
John.
amiibo.
Wow!
Yeah, he has 15 of them.
John.
John really loves amiibos.
I mean, like, I think the thing that makes it so depressing about how many amiibos I
John,
have
you
is
pay
that
you pay rent.
That's a lot.
no, look, here's the thing that makes it depressing is that like I don't have all of them. I don't have only a few. I have a lot, but not enough that makes it like, oh, you're like this dedicated collector. I'm just like, I just kind of stumbled upon a bunch of these and I bought them because I was like, I'm just gonna get them. I'm sorry, the world. It makes it so much more depressing when it's just like, I didn't really try to get these. I just kind of ended up with 15 amiibo. I mean, some of them are gifts. Let's be honest. Like I think 5 out of the 15 were gifts. That's still like over $100 goddamn that I've spent on amiibo. So I'm not proud in the slightest.
$120 at launch price.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair, I have not spent over MSRP on an amiibo yet. So
Okay.
So you're not really like selling your soul for these. You're not like willing to go above and beyond just to get one. You're kind of just, when you said you were stumbling on it, it sounds like kind of like collecting shells almost.
An amiibo opportunist.
Yes.
Like I actively tried to get 2 of them because they had Palutena up on Amazon for they actually had Palutena up for a good amount of time, like an hour. So I was like, okay, I'll buy Palutena because it's available.
God, what a world.
And I went out to Best Buy at like 8 a.m. to buy a Dark Pit amiibo, and when we walked up to the line, the dudes at the front of the line were like, "Yeah, we've been here since 1 a.m. just because."
Jeez.
While you were walking out with the amiibo they wanted?
I mean,
It's
no, they got it first, but we got there and they just when we got there, it wasn't like we were waiting in line that long, and there were enough amiibos, so like those guys kind of didn't have to do that, which is kind of fucked up.
I mean, like, this is what's really funny to me is that, I mean, like, I live in the state capital of Washington, and like our mall has like a shelf of there might still be like Inkling Girls on their shelf there. Maybe not by like now, but like they were like nobody was like camping out for them because this is like a tiny little town. And you know, there's that little like outskirts mall that probably has like a whole bunch that nobody are buying, and then there's like this other one where like people lined up until 1 a.m. That's kind of incredible to me, I guess.
Yeah, but we're really seeing the big grab online, like you were talking about that Amazon time window.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it's really kind of moving. That's where people are just grabbing them and just reselling them or buying as many as they can. Like, it's kind of a change of hands because retailers aren't,
so
the place to stand behind anymore because all you got to do is just spoof F5 until you get in and then pay for it. It was kind of like that 20th anniversary PS4.
But forever. Forever.
Yeah. But they will never stop making them. And they will never have the same value as a working PS4.
Yeah. It is. The working is one of the most essential parts.
Yeah, no, if you have
really
a bricked
deal breaker
PS4,
for me.
It's kind of an amiibo when you think about it. You put it up on your shelf. Well,
like,
yeah,
you can buy it for spare parts for repairs if you're
yeah, you're right, and you can't do that with an amiibo because there's a chip.
Yeah.
All right,
like broken PS4s, as long as you know the part that's actually broken, they have use.
Right.
I'm just gonna throw it out. Who cares? All right.
I'll take it. Ship it to me.
No.
God.
Dude, I need a PS4. It's friggin'...
There wasn't an actual PS4, Lauren.
Yeah, we were taking
Ship it to me
hypotheticals and trying to
anyways.
make them real,
No,
John.
I need my PS4 to play the video games.
But what you need to do is buy another
I thought
PS4.
you just said there wasn't a PS4.
He's saying there's not a broken one like the one that we were talking about. So what you need to do is go
know,
out...
We're
I'm just
entering
kidding.
some sort of
PS4.
Twilight Zone meta realm right now. We're just
Break it.
arguing. We're arguing over a hypothetical right now, and I think we need to end this podcast before like someone gets stabbed over like a word.
Oh my god, we've been on
and
3
send
hours.
the PS4 to me.
All right.
That's all I ask.
Okay, so that about does it for this episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Aevee, thank you so much for being on the
Thanks
show.
for being on.
Yeah, no problem. You guys are really wonderful. I had a very fun time.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear it.
That's great.
Yeah, we're gonna next week. Our guest, like I said earlier, is going to be Steve Gaynor from Fulbright. You may know him from such games as Gone Home and the game Tacoma that'll be out sometime in the future. So if you have questions for him, send it to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask or to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. On the site, we have some editorials. Ryan wrote a terrifying this extremely long and
Oh
horrifying
my god, the
story
Sakura clicker.
about him playing Sakura Clicker.
Man,
Oh my
he
God,
nailed
that's
that.
amazing.
That was an
that's so
amazing
good.
story.
It's a really good story, and I highly recommend reading that. I also wrote up a little round trip, Aevee, because you don't know. I don't know if we've talked about it too much on the show. We go back and replay games or talk about games that we missed in the past, and that's called Round Trip.
Cool.
I wrote one about Skullgirls.
Oh,
'Cause,
neat.
they sent me a they sent me a code for a second encore, and I talked about how Skullgirls was my first serious fighting game. So,
Oh yeah, I was like, when Skullgirls was first kind of like in production, was when I was doing, I was writing for Games Set Watch at the time. It was like one of my first like real writing gigs. And so I like talked with, speaking, to take it back to Battletoads, that is Mike V's favorite game. And he told me like, he told me all sorts of really fascinating stuff about fighting game design that was like really helpful and informative. But he talked about like Battletoads like weirdness and bugginess and badness was like part of like what made him like want to figure out and exploit it. And that translated into him being like a Marvel 2
I would just
player. It was really cool.
I would love to pick Mike Z's brain. He is definitely one of the most interesting people in the FGC. Definitely.
Yeah, he's
just how Skullgirls was created.
Yeah, he's got a really cool aesthetic. It was fun to talk to him. I would love to have a follow up because it's been years and years.
Sure.
Like since I last talked about that game, I'd love to hear how he felt because it's kind of like coming to a close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, they talked about it at their Anime Expo panel. They were like, "Yeah, this is actually not the last thing we'll do for Skullgirls." They said was like, I think they said they will do more DLC in the future, but they want to focus on their new game right now.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense, especially when you think of like where Skullgirls has gone.
Probably just because they don't want to they don't want to do another Kickstarter for that game. Like they're gonna do their Indiegogo for Indivisible. I think that's what it's called. Remember correctly, and then
I really want to play that.
Yeah.
They made a fighting game that changed system mechanics like every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, and I
That's a bit insane.
I touch upon that in the article. So go on the site videogamechoochoo.com if you want to read more. And Aevee, you want to plug your stuff again before you get out of here?
Oh yeah, I absolutely do. Well, my name's Aevee B. I'm your favorite bee in video games. My Twitter account is Mammon Machine. I post the garbage. And I also do Zeal, which I'm really super proud of. And I'm also making a video game. I should probably have said that earlier. I'm making
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's probably coming out within the next month or so, Lord willing. It's called We Know the Devil. It's a collaboration with...
Oh, yeah, the VN.
Yeah, so it's a collaboration with Mia Schwartz, who's a fucking incredible comics artist, and Date Naito, who did Starfighter, and some other, like, they have like they basically have an HTML5 visual novel engine, and so you can like buy it from their store and then like log out on mobile or browser and just like restart it and play it and do whatever you want. So it's like really convenient. But it's about social dynamics and ostracization, and bad loser weirdo teens in this kind of like surreal Midwest religious dystopia. And they're sent out into this cabin to wait for the devil to show up. And they make friends with each other and hurt each other, and then the devil shows up and everyone dies. So it's like, it's a really good, fun time.
Right.
Happy ending.
It's a really great, uplifting adventure. I hope everyone really likes it. It's kind of like an encapsulation of a lot of things that I've been thinking about with visual novels and the ways that they kind of like create relationships between groups of people instead of like a binary pairing. So like the actual way that you make choices in this game is actually like there are three characters. No one is more main than any other, and you pick which two you want to hang out every hour over this 12-hour period. And it kind of like whoever, like you can kind of like choose two people to kind of like cement and solidify their bond, and one person will be left out. And then there will be consequences for that. And basically about, you know, like who you're choosing to favor. There was like, we were talking, me and Mia were basically, we're talking about this, and we had one of our friends tell us that his mom like took him to like aside one day and said like, in a group of 3 people, 2 of you will always be better friends with each other than you are with the other one.
It's so true.
Yeah. Right? So that is
It's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's what the game is about. It's a cry and die 'em up, as I've been calling it.
Awesome.
Because those are my 2 favorite things. So yeah, look forward to it.
All right. Well, we will definitely be looking forward to that. And yeah, well, like I said, we'll have links to all that stuff on the post. Yeah, let's end this. This is I think this is the longest episode of Choose
It's the
so
longest. Yep, it's the single longest.
So now
I'm
we
so
need to keep
sorry.
going longer and longer with each guest. I want 6-hour podcasts.
It's
Oh
my
my
fault.
All
god.
right.
I die.
I
That ought to do it for this
much.
episode. Thanks so much, Lauren and Devin,
Thank
again.
you.
Yeah, Devin,
Yeah.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah,
for
thanks
the
a
first
ton,
time.
B.
And
Yeah.
thanks a bunch, Aevee.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me talk way too much. I'm so sorry. You can cut me off.
No, you wanted that. You're a guest for a reason.
But yeah, thank you all. This was wonderful. I had a very good time.
And thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.